generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/radio and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
Crossover dribble.
Sing for the crossover.
Kyrie Irving, crossover in the lane. One of the most famous crossovers of all time.
Behind the back, an ankle breaker on Chris Paul.
Crossover.
Double crossover.
The crossover continues to evolve.
Is it over? The crossover is powered by Everlow Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlowconcrete.com.
What up? We're here.
Hello.
I'm glad that you're here.
No nugs apparently.
You're not like Jamal Murray, who just bailed on talking to the media after the game last night.
You have a heat pad?
I did not have a heat pad to throw last night. I've been devoured by wolves.
I don't recognize your team, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't either.
The first game, it was just kind of like, Minnesota pulled away at the end, and last night was
zero sense of urgency.
That was
a tired bunch. They look like a tired bunch.
Well, it's hard to have a sense of urgency when you're just dying because you're being suffocated the entire game.
Yeah.
The entire game.
Yeah, that without Rudy Gobert too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it was mostly just the guard pressure. Oh my God.
But another thing about like the Timberwolves, who are 6-0 in the postseason, is like Karl Anthony Towns is doing smart things.
I know it's stupid. I just said
he's not supposed to.
I just said yesterday, I was like, I'm not scared of that guy. That guy doesn't bother me. And to be honest with you, that's still the case.
Yeah.
That's still the case.
So we were having this discussion,
but yeah, they're good.
It's kind of jarring to see the Nuggets get beat like that. Now, the Bucks and the Warriors in their championship year also lost by 39 in the second round. The Bucks lost to go down 0-2. So, but looking at the Nuggets fans last night, and even Kevin Harlan couldn't save that broadcast because people are starting to leave. They're down 32, and they show a guy that is like, time to go.
Mm-hmm.
That has to be one of the bottom 5 sports feelings, is when your team loses at home like that, you leave early, you get in your car, and you don't even want to listen to the game on the radio.
Like, what just happened?
Mm-hmm. I told...
Can I be in silence the rest of the night?
Nick was talking about the Bears and the then Indians. Mine was, remember the Michigan-Nebraska basketball game where Breidenbach got hurt? Oh. It was on a Tuesday night.
I was fired up. Beat by 100?
I had great seats. It's the only game at PBA I've ever left early.
Yeah. They got absolutely punked.
Yeah, 102-67, and Nebraska was awful. Like, Juwan Howard was making fun of Nebraska. And I was like, not today. So I didn't want to know the final score, but I got in the car, and when we turned it on, the radio was on, and Pavelka was beside himself. There's another turnover.
Anything, yeah.
That was like a bottom 5 sports moment. Do you guys have a bottom 5 sports feeling?
Oh gosh, many Nebraska football games.
Are we all together? We don't leave early, right?
I try not to.
No. Winning or losing, don't leave early.
I cannot guarantee you that I will be staying the entire game. Okay. I cannot say with 100% certainty.
Now, if
I bar none in black and white will not leave early.
If
that is
I
not
do
the case
now, it probably has something to do with the fact that I'm bringing a 3-year-old. If it's like, all right,
that's
man,
fair.
Yeah, it's like
you're one of those people that PBA, when they used to funnel people out on the floor, would leave in a tight game with 8 minutes to go.
I'd turn around, wave to the camera.
And I would lose my mind going, where are you going?
A regular season game, whatever. Playoff game, no chance. I'm not leaving. I mean, I've only been to a handful of playoff games in any sport in my life. So I'm not leaving that early. And then you just, when you lose, like you lose in the NCAA tournament or, you lose in the baseball, at least in the baseball playoffs, there's usually another game like that that follows.
Mm-hmm.
The one baseball playoff game that I've been to was do or die, and they won. So I can't really speak to that. But like NCAA tournament games have been, I've like sat there before and I've thought, well, I'm just gonna watch this. I'm just gonna watch this unfold. And yep, there it goes. I laughed and laughed and laughed at Kentucky as they were making their way off the floor after getting goalkied in Pittsburgh.
By the way, when they did majority of their fans stay for the whole game or did they leave? Because it still was kind of like in doubt that last media timeout.
And you're still traveling, like you're still
Oh, but I mean,
where else am I going to go?
They had
Pittsburgh at 10 o'clock
exactly. You know what? I got a comfortable seat here.
It was late. It was like past 11. Yeah. I think they stayed the majority for the entire game, but it was noticeable when that fan base left for the rest of the weekend.
How pissed off are you two after that? If you're watching another game, you're excited for the team that's losing. That's the only thing you're like, hey, there's at least someone's got to lose. Misery needs company right now.
Well, we have this debate of if you're going to lose, not that you're going to lose, but if you lose, would you rather have the heartbreaker of San Diego State or the blowout by Baylor in the second round? Now, I know that the stakes are a little bit different because one is to go to the Final Four, but you know what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Would you rather
have
you're down
no
30,
chance
you got
of winning,
no shot, you're done by halftime?
Give me the hope, baby.
Or
second
if that
shot.
one thing had went differently.
Yeah, I
give me the hope. Give me the what ifs. Give me the excuses.
If I can stay engaged for 40 minutes, I would prefer that, even if it is a just total gut punch as opposed to, well, that was fun and it's halftime.
If you lose by 100, though, if you lose by 30, there's nothing that you could look back on and be like, well, like you said, if we would have done that differently, then we would have had a chance to win. If we would have got that call, if you would have done this, like you could look at it. It's like, what was the turning point of the Creighton Baylor game in 2014? It was probably when the ball was tipped, maybe.
Yeah.
When the rosters were constructed.
A couple seconds after that.
But see,
you can't do that. That one's just pain. That's probably it for me.
With this conversation, I continue to go back to 2016 Game 7 between the Cubs and Indians. And if that game was a blowout out of the gate, I would be still so ticked I would never even refer to it. But I will watch the Rajai Davis home run as if Cleveland won that game.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, years later, I still look back on those highlights, and that was the ultimate gut punch. But I still refer back to that game. I still hold it into all of the emotions I was going through and the moment that I thought they finally had come through.
See,
wasn't to be.
My only Game 7, 2014 Game 7, I wasn't even mad. I was just like, yeah, I'm happy to be here. It was good. I really wish Salvador Perez would have had a chance in that at bat. But he was always going to either strike out or pop up lazily to the third base side. Like that was always going to happen. I wasn't even mad. But genuinely, I wasn't mad after that game.
If I wasn't doing
and 10 years later, obviously, like they won a World Series the next year, so that eases it even more.
Mm-hmm.
But I after 2014, I was like, damn, I kind of wallowed for a few minutes, and then that was kind of it. I was like, wow, what a sweet October I just had.
But the play at the plate, though.
There was no play at the plate. He didn't go.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But that situation
There would have been.
Honors of the belief that he wouldn't have had a chance.
Nobody could ever. I thought it in the moment, and I know how the conversation has expanded since then. You do not send him. You do not send him.
Remember there was like in the offseason, there was a computer-generated play of that.
Yeah. In all of the like the think pieces and the AI stuff and the computer generated stuff that's come out after that, they will try to convince you that it would have taken a perfect throw to get him. Remember, as Brandon Crawford who was making that throw, who was always going to make that throw. I don't want to lose Game 7 of the World Series on a play at the plate.
Right.
That's the last place I want to lose it. Have the next guy strike out. I don't care.
And it would be uncomfortable now that Jersh is back and you're out with the Storm Chaser.
No, I tell Jersh every day. I say, Jersh, great call.
Great call.
See, I got a buddy of mine, Jimmy, who is a big Cubs fan, says he rewatches that Game 7 as well. And when Rajai hits the home run, he's to this day, he still thinks they're going to lose.
It's still a great moment. It is. It's still a great moment.
Well, and considering who's on the mound in a dominant fashion of Aroldis Chapman.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, God. And Rajai Davis, of all people, was like choked up to the barrel.
Hey, I tell you, when the Chiefs lost to the Bucs during the COVID Super Bowl, I don't know that I could have handled the last second loss, but the fact that it was just total domination by the Bucs, I was like, By the halftime, I was like, this ain't happening. I'm good.
Yeah. 2021 JUCO National Championship game. If we weren't doing the broadcast, I would have left.
Oh,
Who was that against?
New Mexico military.
That's right.
that was
Anthony Grant.
Yeah, Anthony
Yeah.
Grant was running all over us,
That's
and then I was
right.
like, "Well, I guess if he's going to Nebraska, he's going to run all over
There you go.
players in the Big Ten."
Well, he did get a guy. He got the best of a Rutgers player.
Announcer voice.
Oh,
he
he
did
did.
not run all over people. In the Big Ten.
He ran over some people.
Just one guy from Rutgers.
So I have an ethics question that I observed yesterday. And
Wait, hold on. Let's
Business ethics.
because we got a couple thoughts on these painful laws.
Is this going to be about the Royals?
No,
Okay.
just other people. Sean, I left the Nebraska Ohio State game a few years ago early at halftime. I was with my
Yeah.
wife. She convinced me if we left early, we could stop by Vala's and get some pie. That was the highlight of my night.
Stop by
That
Vallis.
was, so that was the game day appearance? No.
I would assume so. The 2019. Now
Yeah.
I left the 2011 Ohio State game early.
Hold on.
that's when-
Nebraska Ohio State has never been, it's always been a night game, right?
No, 2021 was a day game. Was at 11 o'clock.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Game day went straight into.
But that was a good game.
Yeah,
There,
that's right.
I don't think there would have been really a reason to leave that one. That was.
Oh,
that was
so
a
when
pretty-
Will Honus had the really awesome interception, right?
Will Honus.
Yes.
Nice. Nice. There's a name.
Yeah.
I was one of the people who left the 2011 Ohio State game early, right before Nebraska staged their biggest comeback in school history.
Bo would like to talk to you.
And then it turned out that Bo was really mad at me after the game secretly. That became public afterwards. John says the same thing. I let the comeback win over Ohio State after the first series of the second half and missed it. But I stayed until the bitter end of the Missouri game in 2008. That buys me some credit. Yeah, you take your shots. You pick your spots wherever you can take them. I don't wear it as a badge of honor, but I will admit to you the truth. I did leave that 2011 Ohio State game. I did not see all the things that came after that.
There were a lot of people left the Michigan game this past year early.
Yeah, that one's reasonable.
Right call.
Like, yeah, that's fine. Like, have there been too many Nebraska games where like there would have been a point in which you left and then they staged a comeback and then fell short?
Oh,
Because I'm trying to think of one that would fit that off the top of my head, and I can't. I mean, there's probably a lot of them during the Scott Frost era, to be honest with you. But I mean, they had the lead the majority of the 2021 Michigan game.
yeah.
Right?
I don't think
Nobody was leaving that.
No, that was
Yeah.
on a different level.
Nobody was leaving that game.
All right, now this ethics thing that I witnessed yesterday. So, was at a place where they're very busy. They like to work on your car, and they take care of the customers that are waiting for their vehicle to be taken care of.
Mhm.
And they had some pastries out.
Oh.
Lady who works there came over and took a donut out of the box, put it on a plate, took a knife, cut off a sliver of the donut, took the sliver,
No.
put the donut back,
No.
just took a little piece,
No.
and off she went.
No.
And I was watching and I was thinking,
I'm afraid not, ma'am.
Nope.
okay, so,
Not today.
but I think we're all on the same page here, but was she smart because she wasn't wasting a whole donut, even though she just wanted a little bit?
Well-
Because she could have just taken the whole donut, just had a little bit, and threw the rest away. And now somebody gets to come in and get 75% of a donut.
Is anybody going to eat that donut?
There may have been a couple ethics thing broken here. If you work at the shop,
Yeah, first of all, you don't
and the
have
donuts are for the
yeah,
customers,
that donut's not for you.
It's not for you.
Hopefully
I've
there's
been here before. It looks like it's like a group thing.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
everybody is.
Was she careful not to touch one
Yes,
half
she was.
of the? Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
she like picked it up with both
And the only
spoon and
reason I
fork,
was
or
paying really close
knife and
attention is
fork?
because we were talking,
Oh.
and I watched her, and I'm like,
Did you as you were talking, did you question the method?
No, I was trying to figure out her methodology.
Oh, okay.
That she didn't want to waste a whole donut,
First
just
I-
wanted a little part.
she was gonna eat
and
the donut
hoping,
with a
and
fork.
hoping that somebody will come in and go, "Oh yeah, I'll take that 75% donut."
Nobody's doing that.
No one's going to eat that. You're right.
I understand the idea
By the way, it
of
does happen here.
if somebody's like me and wants half a donut, there will be half a donut there for him. But no one is eating that half of it. Like
No.
it's not going to happen.
No, just take the whole thing, and if
Yeah.
you waste it, you waste it. Like
Yeah.
that's what the free
Maybe,
stuff is.
all right,
for.
yeah, maybe you'll want it later. You never know. But
I'm
just
sorry, I know
don't subject somebody to a half eaten, or I should say a half cut, or
They-
even 3/4 cut donut, because no one's going to eat that.
They may not work here, but we have that issue here. They may not work here anymore. Of the slicing of the half bagel?
No, don't do that.
I mean,
Just
it's already
take it.
sliced on that one.
Just take it and
They just
assume you
cut it
might
in
want
half?
it later.
And they leave the other half of the bagel?
No, don't do
Now,
that.
are the halves of the bagels separated, and kind of assorted and mixed around inside the bagel box, or does it appear as one whole bagel? And then
So it's the grouping of bagels, pulls out the bagel, cuts off half, takes their half, puts the other half back into the box.
That one's iffy because a bagel is always cut in half or should always be cut. Like nobody's just eating a bagel, What do? Put the cream cheese on top of the bagel? No, you just eat you cut it and you eat the bagel. So that one's like, since it's already a pre-cut thing, like it comes in halves, I could see that one a little bit more.
Still don't like it.
But still, no, I agree.
Because I don't know how you
like
did you like what Josh asked. Did you touch it at all? Did you properly cut it without any type of contact?
It's not even about
just sitting there.
It's not even really about the touching or all that stuff. It's just,
it is for me.
It's just like,
really,
it's a donut. Take it. It's a full donut. Take it. If you eat a bite, fine.
You might want it later.
The whole point of the free donut, bagel, whatever box, cookie box, is that it's all free.
Yeah, you didn't pay
it's
for it.
probably all wasted leftover stuff from your house anyway. So just dump it all on the table. Like it's a free for all. We have a waste problem in this country.
To assume
of
that
course,
someone is going to eat that.
But this is where I'm actually fine with waste.
Yeah, me too.
Waste is good here.
To assume that someone is going to roll up 20 minutes later and see that, I'm like, oh, you know what? I didn't want a full donut. This works out perfect. There's 3/4 or a half of a donut. Ah, man.
You don't need to be minimalistic.
This is great.
You don't need to be minimalistic.
Everything's
in
turning
that
up Joey
exact
today.
situation.
I wanted to say something and just ask why.
Yeah.
But then I was like, just keep it moving. And then I wanted to maybe call back later in the day and go, that donut that had like a little sliver out of it. Did anybody eat that?
Grab that?
Is it still there?
And whoever ate that, tell me about them.
Now, I've heard of this before. Maybe you are not giving this person who worked there enough credit. Maybe it was a little piece of strategery, as they say, where she cut the donut, took the half of the donut, is totally aware of the understanding that nobody else will eat that other half of the donut and will come back for it later.
Then take it with you.
She has planted a seed.
No, then you got to come back for it.
And then she will come back.
You take it with you.
She will come back later to grab the donut because she wanted to appear as if other people have accessibility to these donuts.
I really don't think that
maybe
that thought went
just
into it.
maybe.
Okay, just let me be the fat guy in the room here. Who eats half a donut?
That is also very true.
It's
either all or nothing. It's either, no, I'm good. Or,
I need you guys to
I've been
suspend everything you know about at this point and just think about it from the mind of Sharon.
I'm really trying, and it's no.
So when I was going through this fasting phase and you would show up for work and they would have like pastries and stuff, I admit I was that one guy that would grab like a donut, take a quick bite, and then throw the rest.
That's fine.
That's good.
That's nothing
and then
wrong
I
with
might
that.
take another bite of another donut and then in the garbage.
Okay, well
you're just taking multiple donuts and
that
one
just
bite
seems
out.
Because then I didn't eat a whole donut.
It just seems like you're being mean at this point.
That is it. You might as well just spit on them.
I was starving myself at the time. It did
So
not
you were
seem to
angry?
be that bright about 5-6 years ago.
You were starving yourself and you wanted other people to starve with you.
Yeah.
Nobody.
You're taking your ball and going home.
If I don't get donuts, nobody gets donuts.
I just wanted a piece of it.
You will
I wasn't going to cut it. I just wanted a piece. Just a chomp into the garbage.
Diabolical, Gary.
Yeah.
That's not right. That ain't right.
Well, that's the mental part of like, okay, you did not eat a whole donut, so you're okay. So your points or calories for the day are still good.
So Sean says that this crossover is sounding like an episode of Seinfeld, and Bigley on YouTube
A lot of
says
things sound.
Costanza. Definitely. I mean, that's certainly the case. So why don't we just ask the question? Years and years later now. How do you guys feel, before I give my take, how do you guys feel about the classic double dipping of the chip?
Usually against it, but there is, okay, can I use the word again? There is strategery involved where it doesn't bother me, but I need to know that you went about it the right way. Mainly if you go one end dip and then you eat and you go other end.
The back end of the chip.
Back end, then I'm okay with it.
I just think it's
But you got to make it known. Like,
Yes,
hey, everybody, this is what I'm back end.
You do. You essentially have to describe what you're about to do, which seems like a lot of work.
I think we're dealing with a communal bowl of
Yes, we
dip
are.
here.
It's true.
And there's a lot of things that are not normal about that. And so I'm going right back in because I like to spread my dip out over the chip. I don't like to hunk it all on one bite and then go back in for another.
Then you know what?
thing.
Get yourself your own little bowl.
What do I need, a spreader?
No, get yourself a bowl.
Why do you
hover
hover
over the?
I'm not covering. I just take a bite of the chip. I mean, maybe it's at the table. Maybe it's at a restaurant and there's a bowl of salsa and I take one bite of a gigantic chip that they give you.
Different. Hold on.
Can't you dip and slide the chip under so it gets proper coverage and you don't need a double?
I could.
If you know the person across from you, doesn't that erase any protocol in the double dip?
Okay, yeah,
it's fair game.
Yes, if it's your wife, I admit I will double dip if I am having a meal with my wife because it's her. I'm not worried about the germs. But yes, if it's even family, I won't do that. Not a monster.
All right, I'm less likely to do it in a more public setting, I guess. But I am fine with it, and I'm fine if everybody else does it. Go ahead. Double dip that thing. It's a crazy thing that we do. We put a giant bowl of dip out. And it's just there. It could be there for hours and hours and hours. You don't know what could be in there.
You don't think when you go
when people dip the chip in that their little fingers might even just take a little dip inside of the bowl a little bit as well? Maybe it's
we're talking like at a potluck? Not at a restaurant.
No, not at a restaurant. Yeah, at a potluck. Let's just say there's a giant bowl of dip sitting right out there.
I'm sure other people double dip all the time and I don't know about it, but as long as I don't see it, out of sight, out of mind, I just know I'm not going to be contributing to the double dipping.
I will.
Are you? I will. If no one's watching, are you double dipping no matter what?
Oh yeah. Oh, I mean, if that's the case, I don't
have
to worry about
anybody. It's a double dip party.
It's a free for all. Absolutely.
So Gary's story about the donuts made me think of this. Did you guys hear this? This is crazy about Mike Matheny, who's a health
one of the greatest royal managers of all time.
Yeah.
Loves affliction.
And apparently is a health nut. Did you hear this about him? He would eat ice cream, but he would essentially put it in his mouth for a few seconds. He'd spit it back out just because he wanted to experience the taste, but he didn't want to take it in because that was
like taking a quick bite of a donut.
That's what it made me think of.
No, but you eat the donut.
Yeah, but you actually swallow the donut, and he didn't want to swallow it because then the sugar and all of that. But
knowing what I know about Mike Matheny, that makes a lot of sense.
Is that a line?
Yeah, that actually tracks.
Isn't that just? But once you're I don't want to get into the science of it, but I feel like once it's on your tongue and it kind of absorbs, aren't you still getting some sugar?
This is a man who became famous as a member of the St. Louis Cardinals.
That's true.
All right. So nothing he could do or say would be surprising.
I feel like if you work out that much as he claims to, and he looks like a healthy dude, can't you just, if you really want the ice cream, can't you just splurge every now and then? Can't you just do that as opposed to eating it like a psychopath?
I don't know, man. You wouldn't think that it would kill you.
You put it in your mouth and you spit it back out. What is this, dogma? It's just weird.
It's a very weird thing.
Yeah.
It's a very weird thing. Just eat the ice cream. I'm actually with you on that one.
But he is on brand for him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, weird.
It's a very, very bizarre story.
Let's see what this says. Email subject line from John Ethics. A couple weeks ago,
this is not his dealership.
My wife and I stopped to grab some carry-out burgers and fries. While waiting for our order, I watched one of the guys eat the last of the fries from the bowl that they used to season the whole batch before putting them in the order bags. Then they dumped the next batch of fries into the same bowl to season them. I walked up to the counter and told them what I had seen and told them to dump that batch out and go get a new bowl. I stood at the counter and watched until our order was done. I will not be back.
Dump this out, I demand.
Come on, John.
It's pretty good.
You don't know what goes on back there. Like they're touching your food like crazy.
Yeah, that's true.
It's all right.
At the really high class restaurants, the chef actually touches your food.
Oh yeah, he rubs it up.
Yep.
Well, there are some places where if you want to pay attention, you can watch them prepare food. Like they have the open kitchen.
Yeah. Subway. Yeah.
Hibachi grills.
Like
Kobe Steakhouse.
Because I thought Charleston's.
Yeah, that's true. If you sit in the right spot.
Or you could go to the Drover You can see the Drover making the steaks right there.
You can't see anything in the Drover.
Oh, it is
The
kind of
lighting is. You got to go there during lunch.
I do.
The lighting is better.
The sunlight comes in.
Well, okay, so I think the only you could see him kind of making stuff at McDonald's, right? You can see him make the fries at McDonald's.
Yeah,
if you're up at the counter, you can kind of.
I can see how they put about 40% less fries in my fry cup than they did about 6 years ago.
I'm going to top that off there, fella.
I could see that. Yeah.
Are you saying that you have fewer lonesome fries at the bottom of the bag these days?
No, well, I guess that is a part of it, yes, but I just think there's less fries in your little fry holder than there ever has been. We're at an all-time low. My suspicion is that there's the same amount of fries that go into a medium as a small now.
Whoa, scandalous accusation.
There's a little snackmosphere in your...
Just a suspicion.
Yeah.
Just a suspicion.
I think there's some deception going on with the size of the carton.
Maybe. It feels like those maybe have gotten smaller too.
I don't necessarily think you're wrong. I just think it's a big, lofty accusation.
I know
you're throwing.
it's a wild one.
I'm jaded all the way back to
a lot
when
of
I was
research
a
has been done,
child,
though.
and I'd buy a big bag of chips, or my parents would buy a big bag of chips. Like, oh, they got the large ones. You open it up, and there's half of it is gone. It's a snackmosphere. I mean, the entire top half is just air. And it's all at the bottom. Like, this is not actually a very big bag of chips.
Travis says the only acceptable time to double dip is if you have your own personal dip.
Well,
if it's communal or shared, there is no excuse to do so.
Yeah, that's why you get your own bowl. If you feel the need to double dip, find a bowl.
I'm not going to make excuses about it. I'm just saying that it's going to happen. I'm doing it.
Can you kick
do you
the
alert
habit?
people beforehand?
No,
Hi, I'm Connor. I'm a double dipper.
I don't think they want to
judge me.
I don't think they want to be warned. I think you want to actually just not see it happen.
Did your wife know about this before you got deep into your relationship? Like she wasn't horrified at a party?
We went out to dinner a lot. I would assume that
when people are whispering about Connor and she's just so happens to be within earshot, like, gosh, they're talking about him.
They're talking about him double dipping again.
Gosh, Connor.
Yeah, see, I don't think anybody actually cares. You guys just think you care.
Does when you go out with your wife, like last week, you went out for your anniversary. Do you eat off each other's plate?
We had a shared meal at that situation. We had a shared plate.
You got something, she got something, and you split it.
No, there was a gigantic steak.
Yeah,
and we both had
it
some
was for
of it.
two.
The old 96er.
Yeah.
It
was a big old tomahawk.
I feel like this is a good point to bring up one of Connor's previous takes.
Oh, are you gonna throw something back my face?
You don't always have to wash your hands when you leave the bathroom. We're just trying to paint a full and complete picture of who Connor Happer is.
You know what? Every time I'm in a hurry, I've told my son that a few times. Like, as long as you didn't touch anything, let's just get out of here.
I tell him that too.
I've done that, and then he goes in and he tells mom, and she's like, "What did you tell him? Oh, we gotta go.
He's sitting. He didn't touch anything.
He's going to take the kid an hour to wash his hands.
He's good.
Sometimes the only thing you touch is your phone.
Yeah.
When you're multitasking,
which is extremely clean.
I don't have any comment on that, Josh. Okay. I will just say that you guys don't. Once again, how would you know? There's like, if you want to make me the boogeyman for all the germs in America, that's fine. But just understand that a lot of people are doing this.
Can you put that in your Twitter account, in your bio?
The boogeyman.
The boogeyman for germs.
Yeah.
I will gladly. I mean, I will bear that cross, but it's it's common.
You and I will never be germaphobes.
But people don't wash their hands to get the germs off.
No, they do it because they're supposed to.
Exactly.
No, it's true. It's a lot of posturing.
Because the only time anybody ever washes their hands is when there's somebody else in the bathroom with them.
Well,
this guy's going to look at me weird if I walk out of the bathroom.
I still wash my hands even if I'm by myself, but I don't put the same type of time in that I did during COVID or if someone was around.
Of course not.
You don't sing happy birthday twice?
Yeah, I don't do that. It is. I mean, you're right. Washing your hands is in the bathroom. It's necessary, yes, but it's probably more posturing.
I miss those days of, when they'd have that 2:00 governor press conference and they would teach you how to wash your hands.
And then there'd be signs in the bathroom that gave you some really good practices.
No, but
those are great. I just potted those on.
Also, keep in mind, I'm not in the food service industry.
You're just in the radio business.
All I'm serving is takes. And you don't need to wash your hands of those.
Touche.
Here's an email from Matt.
I'm Matt.
Love Indian food, but when you go to an Indian family's home, they often share one central plate and use all their hands to scoop up the rice, the naan, and constantly dip into the curries. Very interesting, Matt says. Very interesting.
That is
Connor seconds that. Ooh, that is very interesting.
That is not well known. This is a new development. I did not know that.
There are dishes, yes, I've seen where they have this big. It's a big bowl.
You haven't seen the guy on TikTok who just like grabs the food and just goes like this? Yeah. That's a good guy.
There are, it exists. I don't think I'd be wild about that.
So you're saying like the next time I go to Juniper, I go, how do you guys prepare this?
Yeah. Can you give me the bowl that I can just use my hands?
Can you FaceTime me?
You should ask them that at Jaipur. Yeah, for sure.
What did I say, Juniper?
You said Juniper, but that's okay.
Jaipur.
Jaipur's a great place. I don't care.
Got a good jalapeno beer too.
I'm sentimental to the oven in the Haymarket link.
Yeah, that's a good spot.
It's a good date spot.
It's a good spot.
If I couldn't seal the deal at Laslo's, the oven was the next one.
Yeah,
Go to
Laslo's.
Vincenzo's.
There you go.
Yeah, Vincenzo's. I was like 0 for 3.
And then if you really needed to, you're like, all right, Brewski's, Old Chicago. Do you see me? I'm in the mug club.
I'm on the wall of foam.
There it is. Wall of foam. All right. That's Crossover powered by Every Level Concrete Repair in Omaha, everylevelconcrete.com. It's Tuesday. We'll start things off next.
That's the Crossover. The Connor Happer Show is next on 1620 The Zone. You get a lot of junk in your inbox. This one, not junk at all. 1620 The Email. Exclusive content, contests, other stuff probably. Subscribe today at 1620thezone.com. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Mild and breezy for Tuesday. Expect mostly to partly sunny skies. West to southwest winds will gust 20 to 30 miles per hour at times. Can't rule out a spotty late-day shower, though most will stay dry. Highs in the low 70s. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV News Watch 7.
Right now, and for a very limited time, get a free $500 quarter-carat oval natural diamond pendant valued at $500 for free with a purchase of $500 or more at Greenberg's Jewelers. Or receive a set of half-carat total weight diamond studs valued at $1,000 absolutely free when you buy $1,000 or more in gorgeous Greenberg's jewelry. It's a real buy one, get one free opportunity during Greenberg's Jewelers Celebrating Love Spring event. Get mom that special Mother's Day gift. Or maybe you have an anniversary, special birthday, or a graduation coming up. You can give 2 pieces of jewelry or keep the free earrings or pendant for yourself. Greenberg's won't tell. Don't miss these tremendous buy one, get one free opportunities during Greenberg's Jewelers Celebrating Love Spring event, happening for a very limited time only at Greenberg's Jewelers. Greenberg's Jewelers, a cut above the rest. West Roads Mall.
The Zone Hotline is powered by 42 Degrees. The Source, by your mom's house.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks to help grow businesses, communities, families. A legacy of capability and technology that has made Ford F-Series America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2023 calendar year total sales.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Watching a ball game at Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill is pretty awesome. Oscar's offers the MLB package, so your team is always on their upgraded audio-video system, and nothing is better than watching the game with a cold frosty one, Oscar's Pizza, or award-winning char-buffed wings. And with daily lunch and dinner specials, it's really a no-brainer. So get ready to watch your favorite team play ball at Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill, 173rd and West Center Road, and takeout at 162nd and Maple.
Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. EquitableOnline.com.
It's the Connor Happer Show. Are we sure we want to do this?
Could you, make an announcement that we're ready?
It's the Connor Happer Show on 1620, The Zone.
All right, welcome in. Happy Tuesday. It's the Connor Happer Show. You're on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer, Josh Hodson with you. Content creator Josh Hodson. Josh, if you're just getting around to this, we do lots of content at 1620thezone.com, and it's not all just 6A to 6P. Sometimes there's other stuff.
24/7, 365.
There's enough stuff for you to be able to be engaged with 1620 The Zone literally your entire life. And so what Josh has added into that equation is ASMR videos. Nice job, Josh.
Thank you. Well,
Josh is doing ASMR videos, and the next step is he's going to do an OnlyFans.
If there's an audience for it, I will happily. I'll take the money.
You eat chips on OnlyFans?
That's right. Oh yeah, baby.
I just had a rant about this last week.
I know.
I was like, you know what I hate? I hate when people are like, let's do food content, and it's just me eating stuff. And what do you know? Josh does a vlog, and it's him eating a bag of chips.
It's new chips, new Doritos Baja Fiery Mango. If you put the word new on a bag at the grocery store, I'm going to pick it up.
We do know this about you, yeah.
Because I have to know. And now I've turned my need to know into a public service for you, the audience. And I'll tell you, if the chips are any good. I also bought the Sour Patch Oreos yesterday. We'll try those after the show today. That sounds like a terrible idea.
That doesn't sound quite as, like ASMR, certified as eating a bag of chips.
Yeah, it was really the perfect pilot episode because you get that.
What do you dip the Sour Patch Kids Oreos into?
Oh, I hadn't thought about that. I'm not a dipper of my Oreos.
Oh, really?
So I didn't know. Yeah. Oh.
You don't dip your Oreos in milk in normal times?
No.
You should. It's better that way.
I've heard it's very good. I don't like foods touching.
All right. Weirdo.
I didn't say it wasn't weird. I just said
who am I to call somebody a weirdo? I
wash my hands before I eat.
Exactly. I'm a weirdo. By the way, we got a tweet from Amazing Daniel a few minutes ago. Connor being a double dipper may be the most predictably on brand thing I've heard on this show.
He's got you pegged.
He does. You got it. You got me figured out. I still throw people for a curveball every once in a while. Maybe I will wash my hands. Maybe I will ask for the receipt.
Why would you ask for the receipt?
75% of the time, though, I won't. Maybe more. Who knows?
Definitely more.
All right. Welcome to the show here on a Tuesday. Allan Bell will join. We'll talk about the NBA playoffs and more with him and the finish at the races over the weekend out at the track, whether it's the Kentucky Derby or the NASCAR race. So AB will join at the bottom of the 11 o'clock hour. Jacob Bigelow will stop by at 1 o'clock. No weirdo Jack Mitchell softball team thing to make fun of him from last night. They got banged.
Sad.
Very sad. I was really looking forward to poring over the box score again this morning and seeing that our boss is still the only person without a hit. A great representation of 1620 The Zone.
But they knew on the front end, okay, this game's probably not going to happen.
Yeah. Well. So we can't.
Also, just real quick,
can't make fun of them.
Their lineup yesterday. They did release the lineup because, what if the rain doesn't come? What if the Lincoln Dome is in effect. Everybody on the roster compared themselves to one major league player.
Yeah. Yeah.
First of all, our boss compared himself to Mike Piazza, but he wanted it to be known that it was like late stage Mike Piazza, like on the Padres and
like getting a sawed-off bat thrown at him.
Yeah, that Mike Piazza, not the.
That was still pretty good, Mike Piazza. I guess.
Like towards the end, like where did he go after the Padres? Like the Tigers? Was that it?
Mike Piazza played for the Padres.
Yeah,
I guess that does vaguely ring a bell. Mike Piazza played for somebody after the Padres.
Yes.
Was it the Detroit Tigers?
The A's. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I vaguely remember that too.
He wanted it to be known that's what he was talking about.
Late stage Mike Piazza.
But someone on that team compared themselves to Gerard Dyson, which tells me this person thinks they're fast, right?
Interesting, considering that you can't steal bases in slow pitch softball or take leadoffs.
True, but manager Jack Mitchell had this person smack dab in the middle of the lineup.
Oh, okay. It's a little managerial, what's going on here?
If this guy's as fast as he clearly thinks he is, maybe you need to knock him up a couple spots.
Well, we didn't get to see it come to fruition last night, which is a sad deal for all of us. So we'll just talk to Jacob about other stuff at 1:00. That's the lineup powered by the Referees at John Higgins Weather Guard. Want to hear from you guys on the show. As always, 402-951-1620 on the 42 Degrees The Source hotline. You can tweet at Happer Show, at Connor Happer on the J-Tech Construction Zone Twitter feed. You could also tweet at producer_Josh. If you want Josh to try some random weirdo food.
Yeah, if you got some suggestions.
He'll make a video of it.
It's up on the episode 1's up on YouTube right now. Please watch away.
Please go watch. I watched yesterday and was disgusted by the entire thing.
Well, I mean, I'm not like shoveling it into my mouth. I'm taking normal bites. It's just the sounds, Connor.
I say you go full into it and just you show up in a bib and you got just dust all over your, chip dust all over your fingers and smeared all over your face. Maybe that's your play. Because there's a lot of people making food content right now.
Yeah, you gotta stand out from the crowd.
Yeah, there's a whole like sub community of people who are making like ridiculous things, like things that nobody would ever eat, just so they could get featured on that one guy's TikTok where he makes fun of all the
chef reactions.
The chef reactions.
I love that guy. That guy's great.
That guy is great. He just makes fun of everybody, which is awesome. But it's become too much to where every recipe that anyone comes across is a disaster now. They just pour hey, let's put ramen noodles into a pot and let's pour raw chicken on top of it.
And then what if we boiled the whole thing not in water but in Mountain Dew?
Yeah, and then it's turned out to be blue at the end. So people have cracked the code on how to get on that and go viral. Maybe Josh is on his way to doing so. Email into the Equitable Bank inbox, Connor or Josh O at 1620thezone.com. And we, of course, say good morning to our YouTube streaming audience. Hi, everybody. YouTube.com/1620thezone TV. Also, you can stream us conveniently located on our website. You can listen there. There's a little listen now button, and then there's a watch now button. It's all right there for you. Just head to 1620thezone.com. Elsewhere on the show today, we patiently await the last 2-minute report from last night's Knicks Pacers game 1, in which it was bad. Ooh, it was bad.
Got a hunch. I know how that one's going.
Josh sent me a text last night. He was like, "You love this review," and I was like, I can't tell at which point of the game you're asking me this, because they were all completely ridiculous. It's totally misapplied and horrible calls to go on top of it. So we'll get into that. The Nuggets are in hell in the NBA. I have come up with my own number. We're going to call it the Happer coefficient.
Ooh,
the Happer. I like when people say coefficient. I just think it just sounds right. And so there was a couple of things. Most notable, like we talked about Joe Klatt's deal yesterday, where he said Nebraska was top 25 or whatever. And then there was a graph that went around on like strength of schedule. People are starting to realize that Nebraska's strength of schedule is pretty easy. And I had a thought kind of about the future schedules, because remember, we have Nebraska's Big Ten conference opponents all the way up until 2028 at this point. So I wanted to look at those and just see the variance on each year. And to do that, I've come up with the Happer scheduling coefficient. And so it did cause me to spreadsheet a bit last night. And
is this the smartest show on 1620 The Zone?
No, I will tell you. I will tell you with complete confidence that this exercise that I did was completely futile and made no sense whatsoever. But I will give you the information that I have found.
Well, I tried.
We like to dive down into whichever hole that we can find, and sometimes there's nothing in there. Sometimes there's nothing in there. So,
but how do you know if you don't go in?
Exactly. Thank you. So we'll have that and some other Nebraska football related things. Josh making content and the Oakland A's attendance once again. Also today, the return of Major League Baseball reaction overreaction.
It was so popular last week. We brought it back. We welcome the writers back.
Thank you, writers.
They're happy to eat all the snacks that I had left over because writers don't pay for food.
Yeah, on the snacks from the text line here, Josh has 4 or 5 road games this fall to try new foods from the great state of Kansas.
You're damn right. I'm always going to those Kansas grocery stores and like, I've never seen that at home. Oh my gosh, let me get it. And I try it in the van. Content season, baby.
Here's one for you from Matt on the Equitable Bank inbox.
Hi, Matt.
Grand Fortune Chinese restaurant is great in West Omaha. They have chicken feet on the menu. Would like to see Josh try chicken feet. It is unusual texture and bony, but not terrible. Great show, Matt.
You didn't sell it very well.
I don't think he has to.
Yeah.
I think that's the point. Like, I want you. This is basically going to create a world where you're trying all of the worst foods.
Well,
which I'm kind of excited about.
I don't want to do that. That's not what this is.
Are you sure?
That's not the idea of this. This is for me to try new Reese's and Oreo flavors.
Yeah, but they're all going to be bad because nothing new is good. We've already invented all the foods.
Well, they're always making new shapes for Reese's.
That doesn't count.
Oh, no, it doesn't.
Those don't taste any different. No one wants to watch you eat an Oreo heart. It's just an Oreo in the shape of a heart.
The chocolate peanut butter ratio is different with every different shape that Reese's puts out.
Yeah, but you can't sit there and eat peanut butter cups. Everyone already knows what peanut butter cups taste like. That's not allowed.
These are
I am now micromanaging your content.
But you won't even come on the show.
You have to do these things. Trust me. It's better this way.
Trust me.
All right. So we're off and running on a Tuesday. We'll get into last night's happenings in the association coming back, where we'll get into. I can pretty much guarantee with a good amount of certainty that there will be some sort of me getting triggered about officiating and replays and stuff like that during our Knicks portion of the segment.
Whatever reason would you have for that?
Yeah, it's weird. Still haven't seen that last 2-minute report yet, though. I just keep refreshing that page. When's that come out? I gotta really be on top of that. And then the Nuggets part. And yesterday I claimed that I was not afraid of a man named Karl Anthony Towns.
How'd that work out for you?
Well, it didn't work out well, but I will like to say that I am still not particularly afraid of him, but more the pack of wolves that have devoured everything in front of them in games 1 and 2 of the Western Conference semifinals.
Thought the Rocky Mountains would be a little rockier.
Get to those two on the other side on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Omaha's most listened to all sports radio station. Again and again and again. 1620 The Zone.
There is only one constant in the universe, and that's change.
Brent Rasmussen of Mortgage Specialists.
I'm sure many of you remember the incredibly low interest rates that were available only a few years ago. Well, things changed. Now rates are higher. But would you believe me if I told you there was a time when people were paying double-digit rates? And that's the thing. Everything changes. Rates go up, rates go down. So if you're waiting for the perfect time when rates drop before you buy a home, you might miss out on the home you really want. So when you think about it, what's a thing today might not be a thing tomorrow. See? Change is good. I'm Brent Rasmussen. Call me at Mortgage Specialists, and we can show you all the details. Mortgage Specialists. Driven, trusted, reliable.
Click mtg-specialists.com. NMLS number 5918, Equal Housing Lender.
Hurry! Time's running out to shop spring savings at Lowe's. Don't miss your chance to spring into deals on the appliances you need. Right now, get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an extra $50 on every $500 you spend on select LG major appliances. Because Lowe's knows spring savings. Offers valid through 5/15. Selection varies by location. Appliance savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for details.
Did you know that radon is the #1 cause of lung cancer for non-smokers and that our region has some of the highest levels in the country? Radon Defense Midwest can test and fix your home. Visit radonradio.com for an exclusive offer for 1620 The Zone listeners. That's radonradio.com.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to speak? Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 10 minutes a day.
10 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun.
Fun isn't hard.
Right. Babbel's interactive lessons, podcasts, games, and more make languages fun and engaging. You might even forget you're learning. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life. Babbel teaches language skills you'll actually use, about travel, business, relationships, and more. You'll learn what matters most to you. Plus, Babbel's lessons are designed to get you having real conversations in as little as 3 weeks.
Just 3 weeks? Even better.
Since Babbel's lessons are voiced by real native speakers, you'll get pronunciation just right and be able to carry on conversations with confidence.
Learning a language with Babbel doesn't take long.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect.
Get Babbel. It starts here. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/radio and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Omaha Maverick Baseball has won 5 out of the last 6 series and leads the Summit League in conference wins. This weekend, the Mavs take on first place St. Thomas. This series will likely determine the regular season title. The weather promises to be perfect, and you don't want to miss any of the action. Friday night is $4 Friday. Soft drinks, beer, popcorn, hot dogs, and brats are all $4. Get your tickets for all 3 games by calling 402-554-MAVS or by going to omavs.com/Tix.
All right, Connor Happer, Josh Hodson back with you in the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. And my comment from before about Jamal Murray or about me not being scared of Karl Anthony Towns, Andrew writes in on the J-Tech Construction Zone Twitter feed.
Hi, Andrew.
I don't think that Jamal Murray is scared of Karl Anthony Towns either, because if he was, he wouldn't have thrown a heat pad at his feet for him to almost slip on. Yeah, the defending champs have not lost with much grace in the first 2 games of this series.
It's a way to put it.
There may be some frustration that is mounting there. I want to get to that game here in just a second because we'll piggyback off of the first one. But let's go to the Knicks and the Pacers first. First of all, I do want to say this. We mentioned last week how I think Jalen Brunson is kind of America's point guard. He's a lot of fun to watch.
That's right.
I kind of think the Knicks are America's team. I think I kind of think everybody just wants to bing bong. And then, poll question, Josh, doesn't everybody just want to bing bong?
Yep, I was headed there.
So I think there's something to that. And maybe the refs just want to bing bong too.
Well, I mean, that's
refs just want to bing bong.
Oh, they want to bing bong.
Exactly. Poll question up at Happer Show. Doesn't everybody just want to bing bong? Did you see that video, by the way, of their reaction to winning game 6 or whatever it was in Philly. All the random New Yorkers. Oh,
I will.
Oh my God! It was last Friday. One of the greatest videos I've ever seen. These people are insane.
I will meet you halfway and say that the earlier rounds of the NBA playoffs are better when the Knicks are in it and competitive, because you can kind of look in on that fishbowl and go, wow, they really care about the Knicks.
I kind of like the New Yorkification of America. We were too Boston-y for a while.
Sure.
We got way too Boston-y.
Yeah.
All those teams started to win and then became a Bostonification of America. I did not like that.
I'm a Celtics fan, and I agree with you.
Everybody was wearing a Red Sox hat. Everybody, thought their favorite sports memory was when Dave Roberts stole second base or something like that. Remember when the Sox did it? Everybody started having a Boston accent.
Mark Wahlberg was America's favorite actor.
Yes. Let's get New York back. Let's bring New York back. The Yankees are kind of fun. The Knicks are kind of fun. The Mets still suck, which is great. It's hilarious.
I believe
the Jets are interesting.
They're interesting. The Rangers are still in the playoffs.
Yeah, hockey. Sorry.
Well, I mean, you could get some. I love in the NBA.
The Giants are a disaster.
I love in the playoffs when there's like booking issues in arenas.
That's fun too.
Like, the Garden didn't think the Knicks and the Rangers would still be alive, so they booked an Olivia Rodrigo concert.
I think we're heading back into the New Yorkification of America. And I, for one, welcome it, because Boston is canceled. Boston is dead. It was never the right path for us as a country to take.
You can point a lot of America's current problems
at the Bostonification of America.
That's right.
Look at Barstool. That was basically a part of it.
That's right.
That would never have existed had the Red Sox not won in 2004. Fever Pitch wouldn't have been made. We would have all been very happy about that.
Jimmy Fallon's not a Sox fan, everybody.
Josh, I watched more than 45 minutes of that movie over the weekend. Fever Pitch. It was I was downstairs for a little while, and I checked in with my wife upstairs. I go, "What are you doing?" She's just watching Fever Pitch, and I was like, "Why are you doing that?" And then I kind of sat down, and I was like, "This is horrible." I kind of like it. Drew Barrymore and Jimmy Fallon have no chemistry whatsoever.
They didn't seem to like each other.
Drew Barrymore is actually a horrible actor. She just kind of says things.
We like her.
But
she's not a great actress.
Yeah.
Not a lot of range.
There you go.
Yeah.
I have a lot of respect for Drew Barrymore.
The Drew Barrymore show might be the best vehicle for her at this time.
I didn't even know that she was doing that.
Oh yeah, she got a daytime talk show. She's not as good as Kelly Clarkson.
Maybe we should flip it on. Anyway, the Knicks, America's team, won last night with the help of a wide array of terrible calls and incorrect applications of replays and challenge system, which is, just right up my alley. When I think sports, I think, let's talk replay. 115, last minute of the game.
Literal last minute of the game.
Jalen Brunson tried to do a little, stop, swing around pass. Very clearly went off the guy's knee and hand. Probably would have led to a 4-on-2 for Indiana. They would have got points out of it. Instead, it was called a kick ball. We have gotten very loose with the term kick ball. It's not football. Like, the ball can go off your foot. At least I want to live in a world where the ball can go off your foot, and it's not a kick ball, but kicking is the act of actually kicking, Josh. But did neither of those things. Didn't go off a foot, and it certainly wasn't kicked. Instead, the Knicks retain possession, and they get a DiVincenzo 3 straight out of the dead ball. Okay, there's one of the things. Coming back, it's 118-115. Siakam gets the layup. Brunson dribbles right into Andrew Nembhard, of all people, involved in a late game situation. And he dribbled into a horrible, horrible situation. He was stonewalled by Nembhard, and it may have ticked off of the foot of Andrew Nembhard. Challenge. Brunson, ended up actually dribbling it off of his foot. Okay, get the challenge. Knicks retain the ball. And remember, they only had that challenge because they got the one back from winning the ridiculous Brunson contest at the rim that got overturned. And then Brunson threw it off of Halliburton, and Brunson was the one who was standing out of bounds in that whole disaster. And so all this takes several hours, of course, to unfold. Then with 12 seconds left, the Pacers were lining up for the final possession, and Miles Turner is called for a very ridiculous moving screen before they even got into it. And of course, you're not going to get it overturned on the challenge, because the thing about challenge and replay is that everything is looked at in a vacuum. It applies no context to the situation whatsoever. You just look at the play, and people are like, yes, God, yes, finally, this is the end all be all. Let's make this what we believe in the most. It's actually a moving screen, but I just don't want it to be called in that moment. Sorry, I think situational officiating is a thing. I do. I not only think it's a thing, I think it should be a thing. I think context is important in all things.
Except poll questions.
Except poll questions on the Connor Happer show. And then the game basically ends because they just intentionally grabbed Brunson before the inbound, and they got free throws out of it. And so we just have this gigantic cluster of a minute of basketball in a tie game in game one in rowdy Madison Square Garden, and we can't go 4 seconds without some sort of a dead ball, instant replay, a challenge, a disputed call. Guys are everywhere. We're flying around on the floor, laying out for stuff. I mean, it's a total. It felt like an NCAA tournament game.
Yeah, I gotta come clean with you, Connor.
Josh, okay, this sounds serious.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, I was folding laundry last night. I had the game on. I had it on mute, and every time I looked at the screen, they were not playing basketball.
That's right, Josh.
They were talking about a basketball play with some type of slow motion replay going on the camera.
And that's what we all want. That's what America wants.
I said, ooh, close game down the stretch. Last like 6 minutes. Josh Odson tuned in, had it on mute, because I thought I'll be able to follow both. The whatever we were watching on the big TV. I got
Fever pitch.
Yeah, well, of course, yeah. We were folding laundry, and I had that on mute, and I thought I'd be able to follow along so I could do my job here with you today. And I don't know what the hell happened last night. Everything was being replayed. The balls were being thrown at people on an inbounds play.
Mm-hmm. And we have
everybody was pointing at everybody.
Yeah. Then we have to replay the whole thing just to figure it out. And so it just turns into this giant cluster.
Referees were talking into microphones at fishbowl cameras like this.
Very close to you. Yes. By the way,
why is it so close to me?
I still haven't seen the last 2-minute report pop up yet.
It feels like a news dump at about 4:45 today.
Yeah, that's. I always thought that comes out at a certain time.
Yeah.
The pool report from last night. Actually, is this the right one? Oh, well, there was a Nuggets game pool report as well. By the way,
hey, a lot of shouting. What'd you think of that?
Pool report on the kickball violation that occurred on Aaron Nesmith in the fourth quarter of last night's Pacers-Knicks game. Upon review, was the kickball against Aaron Nesmith deemed to be correct? On the floor, we felt that it would be a kickball violation. Post-game review did show that it did hit the defender's hand, which would be legal. Could the Pacers have been allowed to challenge the kickball? A kickball violation is not reviewable and not subject to coach's challenge. The three things that teams can challenge are fouls, goaltends, and out of bounds. So, once again, totally incorrect applications of these things. And we can't, we get into situations where you don't know what's challengeable, or maybe even you do know what's challengeable, and you just think, well, why do we have the challenge system in place in the first place if I can't challenge certain things? There's no world in which the only three things that happen in basketball games are those three things: goaltends, out of bounds, and fouls. Those are not the only three things that happen in basketball. So you should be able to challenge everything. But we live in We live in an unfair world, Josh. Wouldn't this all be made better if we just didn't have any of this at all? Maybe. Maybe some are indeed saying this. And then I go flip over and I watched the other game last night. And by that time, we've played the first 2 or 3 minutes of the game, and they're basically having an all-out brawl. They're punching each other in the face. The guys are running into each other. There's blood everywhere. There's heat pads on the floor. And we can't go 10 seconds without a whistle in the Knicks game. And then we get absolutely no whistles. And I'm not complaining about the officials. I just want to make that clear. The Nuggets game, that is not the reason why the Nuggets lost last night.
The night-day comparison.
It was just a very, very stark difference. And so as we move on to the other game, I told you guys yesterday, this is very real. I didn't expect what happened last night to happen with the Timberwolves absolutely wrecking the Nuggets.
Mm-hmm.
The Nuggets are in absolute hell right now. It does not have a single thing to do with officiating. I don't think that I've seen, as many people have opined today, I don't think I've seen an NBA team put forth that much defensive effort in a long time. Denver is usually the team with all the answers, right? It's the best offense in the league, partly because they have all the right. They have all the answers just on their roster. They have shooters everywhere. They have a great pick and roll game that can usually go regardless of what defense is playing, against you. And they have the greatest decision maker of all time on their roster. And they have all this toughness and like if they want to get physical, they can get physical. They looked like a total mess against the Minnesota Timberwolves last night, who have this once again. They have. So Anthony Edwards wasn't great last night. He was still very good. He wasn't great last night. He's having this coming out party right now. I'm going to credit him with a lot of this. Obviously, they have some veterans that are really good. But think about the way in which Karl Anthony Towns, a guy we've mentioned a couple times, has been. Like the narrative on him has changed over the last several years. It's changed because the people around him have changed. Anthony Edwards has this bleep you to him. They've created this defense that is in your face. Conley with a veteran presence. Naz Reid doing whatever Naz Reid does. Like all the people around him have changed the look of him. So
0-11 on shots taken against Naz Reid yesterday.
We often look at NBA players in a vacuum and say this guy is good and this guy is bad. And it turns out that the entire team can frame the way we look at these people. And there is no doubt that the Timberwolves look like a bunch of badasses right now. Woof. I mean, I
haven't lost in the playoffs yet.
I should say, woo.
Like a wolf.
Yeah, like a wolf, not a dog. Like woof, a woo, like a Timberwolf.
There's you got to regroup.
I mean, it's over.
It's
over.
It's over.
No. They're done. The Nuggets are not winning the series.
Interesting.
How? You're going there down 2-0. It's over.
You do have the best player in the game.
Yeah, but it's not like they have nobody. It's not like the Timberwolves have nobody.
I mean, they got Michael Jordan.
Jamal Murray keeps playing like this. I mean, there's no shit. Like they not only have lost the first 2 games of the series, they lost the first one close. But the second one, you were straight up punked, dogged on your home court as the defending champions.
80 points.
Which is supposed to be a great home court advantage because of a variety of different things. Number one, you're the defending champions. You get a great crowd in Denver, but also the altitude.
Have you heard of the altitude?
Have you heard of the altitude? Weren't they down 52-80 in that game at one point? 52-80. There you go. Played against them last night. No. Josh, they're not winning that series.
Okay.
Even if they get back, like, I don't trust them to win either of the next. I don't trust Denver to win either really of the next 2. But even if it gets back to the point where we're going into game 5, I don't trust them to win 2 out of 3 in that scenario. And you have to still win the next 2 before you even get there, both of which will be on the road in a raucous Minnesota environment. No, the champs have been unthrown. This is done.
I'd give them a puncher's chance, but
sure, as good of a chance as anybody else coming down 2-0, I suppose.
Yeah. I guess if anyone had a chance, it would be them.
Maybe, but nope. This is a real deal. You better get ready for it. It's the Timberwolves assance. It has arrived.
Timberwolves.
It has indeed arrived. And Anthony Edwards did the shrug last night. just in response to all the Michael Jordan stuff. And I appreciate him for that. All right, that was last night in the association. Josh, any final thoughts on the NBA? Go Knicks, bing bong.
No, I will not go that far. But the league is more fun when the Knicks are good.
I'm going to get you to like the Knicks. Maybe I'll be a Knicks fan.
Can't wait for them to not win the NBA championship.
No, they're not going to do that. They're not going to win the NBA championship. It might be the Timberwolves. I don't know. I might have seen enough.
Sure looks that way.
All right, we'll be back. Still plenty more to discuss. We'll take you guys' thoughts on last night if you have any. If not, we have plenty more to dive into, including the Connor Happer coefficient, as we talked about as well. Maybe we'll do that in the noon hour. It's the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone. There's no better thing than to help others in their time of need. John Bishop here to invite you to be an organ and tissue donor at goodguysavelives.com. Anyone can register, regardless of age or medical condition. Donor hearts and lungs save lives. Donor tissue makes recovery from surgery easier. Next time you renew your license, check that organ and tissue donor box or visit goodguysavelives.com. Learn more about organ donation today and see how you can save 8 lives at goodguysavelives.com.
Memorial Day kicks off summer driving, but at Jensen Tire and Auto, the holiday deals are yours now. Save on Goodyear, Continental, General, Cooper, Kelly, and Maxxis tires. For more information on Jensen's early summer tire deals, click on JensenTireandAuto.com and check out Jensen's deals on expert auto service, including a free AC performance inspection, $10 off silver, gold, and platinum oil changes, up to $40 off fluid exchanges, a buy 3 get 1 free deal on shocks and struts, and $25 off brake service with FMP rotors. For Jensen service deals, click on JensenTireandAuto.com now. Then get a jump on Memorial Day. Schedule an appointment at any of Jensen's 21 convenient locations serving Omaha, Lincoln, Fremont, and Council Bluffs. Jensen's early summer driving deals at JensenTireandAuto.com. Jensen, a locally owned family business since 1973.
When it comes to protecting your home, J. Stennett Contracting takes pride in ensuring every detail is handled. Roofing, siding, gutters. When it comes to the exterior of your home, J. Stennett Contracting has you covered. Have you noticed stains on your ceiling this winter? With storm season around the corner and the damage it can bring, let J. Stennett Contracting ensure that your roof is durable and holds up against the weather this spring and summer. When you need an honest assessment, J. Stennett Contracting has you covered. JSCRestoration.com.
Let's go on a fishing trip you will be talking about for years. The best walleye fishing trip ever. Join me, Crash Davis. We're going to travel to the walleye capital of the world, September 15th through the 19th aboard a deluxe motor coach. Travel with me to Ballard's Resort on Lake of the Woods. Pricing includes round-trip motor coach transportation, 4 nights lodging, 3 days of fully guided walleye fishing, and all of our meals. Go fishing with me, Crash. Your best trip ever. Sign up at ballardsresort.com. ballardsresort.com. And set the hook.
Don't miss this week's Zone Deal.
This week's half-off deal is Cops. Receive 2 $25 gift vouchers for just $25. Cops makes delicious pizza, fresh salads, and tasty charred wings. For the basic menu, click copspizza.com. And for the extended menu, visit them at Shadow Lake Town Center, 180th and Center, and the newly reopened 72nd and Jones locations.
Zone deals go fast. 9 a.m. Friday, 1620thezone.com. Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
Hey, a reminder to sign up for the VIP Club 1620, the email. You'll get Josh's vlog straight into your ears. And you'll be the first to know about all the exciting things that are going on around here. We got some cool stuff planned for the summer, including sports news, contest promotions, and more. Sign up today on our website, 1620thezone.com. Straight to the inbox. That's how I always say inbox, Josh. Inbox.
I like that.
Thank you.
Most people think, oh, boring old email, but Connor gets excited about
I
emails.
get excited about emails. I love emails.
Yeah.
And you could be like me and love emails too. Ross sent me this tweet from this morning on the Equitable Bank inbox.
Hi, Ross.
So the Heisman odds, there's some Heisman odds that are getting posted. I mean, it's definitely college football offseason. We're just like, here's a bunch of numbers that we'll throw at you guys. We're as we get prepared for the start of kind of magazine season and things of that nature. So the leaders in the Heisman
house,
not in the Heisman house yet.
Okay.
The potential to go into the Heisman house. Carson Beck and Quinn Ewers. Ross also mentions
Quinn
that the last time, and I thought this was interesting, and this is I don't think there's any way to really confirm this. I can't find any historical odds on the Heisman Trophy. Although there's I'm sure some websites that look like they were created by 8th graders in their first coding class that might have this information on HTML websites. It is believed in the college football community that the last preseason favorite to win the award was Eric Crouch in 2001.
Really?
And then I did a quick look. I was like, is that true? Was Eric Crouch the Heisman favorite from that year? So I typed in Heisman odds 2001, and it took me to a website called nationalchamps.net, presented by Inside 99. And it does look like it was created by me in 8th grade. And it says that Eric Crouch was not the favorite going into that year. I don't know when that information was culled. But it said that Damian Anderson from Northwestern was the odds-on favorite to win the Heisman. Then Ken Simonton, then Ken Dorsey. 2 Kens in the top 3, by the way. Then Eric Crouch, Antonio Bryant, Woody Dantzler, Antoine Randall, T.J. Duckett, Lee Suggs, Joey Harrington, Jabbar Gaffney, George Godsey, Chris Sims, John Henderson. It's 2001 odds. So I don't know. I can't remember. And obviously Caleb Williams was the favorite last year. Caleb Williams may have ended up being the favorite prior to 2022 as well. And then he won that year. But that is not what the college football community is to believe. I was wondering if Nebraska at some point in the next couple of years will have a Heisman favorite candidate. I wonder.
Carter Nelson?
Yeah, that'd be the one. He plays the right position for it. Tight end.
We're always giving that thing to tight ends.
I know. It's really become a tight end award nowadays. No, I mean, I don't want to get the hype train going too much for young Dylon, but I mean, there's a chance, as we'll discuss later, that Nebraska is an up-and-coming team in college football this year. We love looking at the talent. Love looking at, hey, that guy was a 5-star. He's pretty good. If he was at Georgia this year, he probably would be the favorite. Nebraska might win 7, 8, 9 games this year, go to a bowl game. They'll get up at the bowl game, Pop-Tart Bowl stage and say, Nebraska's back and we're here to stay. And then it'll be the Heisman favorite for next year. Who knows? Could happen. Looks like Patrick Mahomes. People forget about that. Anyway, Josh, I saw this story floating around today. It was from Sportico. We love Sportico in the summer. I'm checking out Sportico in the summer. You in on that?
Oh, always. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm with you.
No A's in attendance. The Oakland Athletics trails a whopping 553 United States sports franchise in attendance, average per game attendance. Now, that number may sound staggering, but they were always going to be behind every NFL team, every major college football team, right? Like nobody's averaging less than even 25,000 a game in college football.
Northwestern.
That matters anyway.
Okay.
So, yeah, that matters. Or certainly in the NFL. So like they were always going to be worse than, I wonder what the the top MLB franchise is on here. I could probably look it up for you real quick. What do you think the highest attendance in Major League Baseball is that they have marked out on here?
Phillies.
Dodgers, 46,000.
They're good. They have a big stadium.
Dodgers, 46,000. Anyway, and I bring this up for a variety of different reasons. Number one, to laugh at the Oakland A's, but number two, there's a local connection or two in here. On the list of teams that outdraw the Oakland Athletics on a per game attendance are 3 indoor football league franchises, 2 college wrestling teams,
whoa,
a professional women's volleyball team.
Oh,
yeah.
Who could that be?
Who do you think that professional women's volleyball team is? That's right. It's the Omaha Supernovas, who are outdrawing the Oakland A's.
I live here, and that's an astounding thing to hear.
It's pretty amazing.
And I know the Supernovas draw well. They're going to the championship, hoping to lock up the 2 seed.
I mean, keep in mind how many games they play too.
Yeah,
it's a pretty good number for them. Yes, they are indeed better at drawing fans to their games than the Oakland Athletics. There are flying beasts. There are space phenomena. There are mythical animals. And they are even the A's own AAA affiliate on this list, the Las Vegas Aviators, who are attracting more fans than their parent club, the Oakland Athletics.
Well, Vegas loves baseball.
Vegas indeed loves baseball.
Famously.
The list of minor league teams outdrawing the A's is extensive. 13 minor league baseball teams, 11 American hockey teams, led by the American Hockey League teams. There's more than 11 American hockey teams on the list, but 11 American Hockey League teams, led by the Cleveland Monsters.
Ooh.
7 East Coast Hockey League teams, led by the Jacksonville Icemen. 7 USL championship clubs, and 1 from the NBA G League.
Oh, there's a G League team outdrawing the A's.
A couple dozen professional women's sports teams also make the cut. 12 NWSL clubs, 7 WNBA teams, 3 PWHL teams, and of course the Omaha Supernovas of the Professional Volleyball Federation drew more than 6,500 fans a game. The A's also trail nearly 200 college football teams in home attendance, including 133 FBS programs, 58 FCS programs, and 6 Division II schools.
Oh, wow.
Even 2 Division III teams, Wisconsin Whitewater and St. John's in Minnesota, averaged more than 8,000 fans during their most recent seasons. The list of college sports teams that rank ahead of the A's comprises of 78 men's basketball teams, 14 women's basketball teams, 12 baseball teams, 8 women's gymnastics teams, 6 men's ice hockey teams, and 2 women's volleyball squads. Nebraska, of course, being one of those.
Didn't you say the Omaha Mavericks hockey?
Yes.
Outdraws the Oakland A's?
Omaha Mavericks are on here. Omaha Mavericks hockey is on here as well. They made a whole big, kind of flow chart with all the teams.
If you are one of these low-level teams,
you got to find the tweet and you got to tweet it out.
You got to make a graphic.
Absolutely. Outdraws the Oakland A's. The problem is that the A's, it's all part of the plan to be shamed into submission. So it theoretically makes it easier to swallow for them to leave. And, they would have an excuse to Major League Baseball and say, look, nobody supports us. They would send this very Sportico story over to Rob Manfred and they would say, look, nobody comes to our games.
Yeah.
We're getting outdrawn by the Omaha Supernovas.
That's true.
And Rob Manfred would be like, holy crap, you're right. Let's move you to Vegas. And the owners would be like, sick. We got exactly what we wanted. So that's the sad part about all of this. But if you want to check that out, it's on, I know many of you read Sportico every day.
Oh, cover to cover.
Cover to cover. There's some good stuff on there. But the A's are being outdrawn by our own playoff-bound volleyball team, the Omaha Supernovas. Wish Nick could have been here today to have a take on this. Alas, we do not.
It's really problematic if you're surprised by this.
Oh, Josh.
What? We're doing Nick impressions while he's gone.
Oh, okay. All right. He might be listening today. Who knows?
Tickling the chains, listening to the Happer show. I hope he is. It's nice out.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty nice day. A little windy.
Yeah.
A little windy.
Maybe that helps the game.
I'll be at the Omaha Storm Chasers game tonight.
The first
blowing away
ever game at Werner Park for the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp.
The Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. I will admit that I bought a Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp hat during COVID.
We all did things during COVID that we regret.
Exactly, and that was one of the things. I also shaved my entire head, my hair, my face, all of it gone.
It doesn't seem that regrettable.
It was incredibly regrettable.
Yeah,
I didn't have a beard, Josh.
Oh, I missed that part. I'm sorry.
Yeah, entire head, all of it gone. It looked like a cue ball. It was horrible. All right, coming back, we'll talk to Allan Bell of Sportsline, or not of Sportsline, of the AB3.
That's right.
And Driving the Line. Sorry, there's a reflex there.
Update your info.
Yep, I got it. We'll get to that on the other side. We'll talk to him about what happened over the weekend and of course, look ahead in the NBA and whatever else is coming up. Probably some food. I bet he likes to try random Doritos like Josh.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you guys can connect on that.
I'm sure.
Next on 1620 The Zone.
Previously on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
Cannot believe you didn't want to watch Hook. What a classic
I've never
movie.
seen Hook either.
Yeah, but Nick, you're 5. Sean was alive in the mid-90s. I didn't see every single movie. You didn't see anything. You're a big dumb idiot. I'm working at the gas station again, watching the 94 Orange Bowl. Watch some damn movies, John. I've seen listen to Nirvana. Hell yeah.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson. Weekdays 2 to 6 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Mild and breezy for Tuesday. Expect mostly to partly sunny skies. West to southwest winds will gust 20 to 30 miles per hour at times. Can't rule out a spotty late day shower, though most will stay dry. Highs in the low 70s. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV Newswatch 7.
More with Connor and Josh after this.
We're going to have an extensive professional relationship, my man.
On 1620 The Zone.
Hi, this is Doug Nodgaard with Equitable Bank. Great service never goes out of style. When the digital age dawned, many said computers would be able to handle many of the interactions that used to take a person. Boy, were they wrong. How many times have you called your bank and gotten a recording to press 1 or 2? Not at Equitable. Not only does Equitable answer your call in the first ring, it's answered by a human being. That's because Equitable Bank values its customers. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Member FDIC.
How powerful is Cox Fiber? Powerful enough to let your band members in Vegas, Phoenix, and Omaha jam like you're all in the same garage. Introducing Cox Fiber from the company with the fastest download speeds 9 years in a row. It's internet built for tomorrow, today. Cox, always building better. Limited availability in select areas. Speeds vary and are not guaranteed. Cox terms and other restrictions may apply. Analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence in Las Vegas, Omaha, Phoenix. Fixed median download speeds Q2 2016 to Q1 2024.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
Tell us how you feel on the J-Tech Construction and Solar Zone Twitter feed. Reach Gary, Nick, Connor, Josh, and John anytime on the J-Tech Construction and Solar Zone Twitter feed. Contact the official exterior and solar experts of the Huskers. J-Tech Construction at yourexteriorexperts.com.
So you just used bug spray in your home. Now what? Well, between the waiting and waiting for things to dry up and keeping your family away from the mess, it hits you. You could have used Zevo. Unlike other bug sprays that stick around, Zevo goes from kill to clean in seconds. Plus, it's safe for use around people and pets when used as directed. Zevo, people-friendly, bug-deadly.
Guys, let's have a conversation. Let's say you've been losing interest in your spouse. You got low libido. You can't focus on things. And you're wondering, what is going on? It may be low testosterone. Mentality is here for you. With their FDA-approved testosterone treatment, the board-certified physicians who work with most insurance companies, they can diagnose the symptoms of low testosterone and take care of it. Schedule an appointment today. Go to the website, lowtusa.com. Take back your life, man. Mentality, lowtusa.com.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Allan Bell, the AB3, on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right, we're joined now on the 42 Degrees of Source hotline by our good friend from the AB3 driving the line, Allan Bell. AB, hello. How are you?
Fantastic, sir. We doing okay?
Oh yeah, we're doing good. Okay, so Josh, tell Allan about the chips that you ate yesterday.
Oh, Allan, I tried a new bag of chips. Saw them at the gas station. It had the word "new" on the bag, so I had to pick them up.
Yep.
There you go. Thank you. I knew you'd agree. Doritos Baja Fiery Mango.
Ooh. Okay. All right. Here's how we're gonna do it. So first, all right, let's look at it like recruiting. That's like our level. 1-star to 5-star. What star do you get?
That's good.
I would go 3 stars. A little too mango-y for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was gonna ask, right? Because you've got the spice going, but then the mango, which is good, but you only need like a very minor touch.
Right.
I could see where like if they go too much mango, could be a problem. Yeah.
So Josh is doing this thing where he's just, he does this anyway with his normal life where he'll, like he said, if it says new on it and they think that somebody will buy it, like Josh is the exact person that they're marketing
That's
these
the
things
marketing
to.
audience.
Yeah. And so I went into his office today and lo and behold, there's a package of Sour Patch Kids Oreos. Thoughts on that idea?
All right. So I haven't had those, but I do enjoy both. All right, so okay, so is it Oreo like the texture? Is it an Oreo or is it a Sour Patch Kid?
It's a cookie and the filling is Sour Patch Kid flavored.
Okay, I'm actually with that. Like I found that the Oreos, like the flavorings, you could go a lot of ways with it.
Really?
What did you think? Did you like it?
I don't think he's done it yet.
I haven't done it.
I'm a little concerned about this whole entire thing. I don't know that I don't know that I like it.
It's a wild thought, right? Like it's like going to, hey, we're going to go recruit 9 kickers. You know what I mean? Like either it's really going to work out or it's a disaster. But I'm going to be honest. I've never had a bad Oreo flavor. Like I feel like they know what they're doing. They know their program. And they're like, just trust us. Like this is going to work out.
Yeah.
So, I need to know.
I think we'll get the review out after the show. That's for sure. We'll make sure you're aware of it. But they can have misses too, and sometimes you miss. I don't know that we'll see what happens on this one, but I certainly don't have high hopes for it.
We're gonna have to wait and see. This could be a transfer portal snack here very soon.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be a 3-star that was
great bit.
Had a lot of hopes coming in that they could be developed, but it just never came to fruition. So they're off to.
Our linebacker just didn't work out.
Yeah,
for some reason it just didn't happen.
They got to go play at Arkansas State now. Sorry. Shout out to Arkansas State. All right, AB, what's going on? I've seen you, and a lot of people in the betting community are talking about just the shenanigans that are going on with the sports books right now as it pertains to maybe when they post lines. I mean, you guys have been really deep into the college baseball thing now. Like, what's going on over here?
Yeah. So what's going on is that, number one, obviously, like it's a niche sport. I get it, right? Like you're either all in on college baseball or you don't watch it, right? So it's not like the NFL. They, the books don't put a lot of, really effort into it. But what they're doing now is they're getting hammered, number one, okay? So when you have like today, okay, Tuesday, there's a lot of games, right? So you have 100 games. Now they'll drop you maybe 15 random games okay? And they only give you the money line. And then now they're starting to just give us like totals and run lines 17 minutes before like first pitch. 17 minutes. It's like, dude, give me a break here. Like, you know, and again, not to hammer at the books, but it's like you have every advantage possible. Like, come on, dude.
Right.
Give us a break,
well,
you know?
And I also think there is, I think on a grander scale, not just the college baseball world, there's a lot of people who are now getting into this for the first time, and they're like, yeah, I mean, I was going to pick a winner, so here I'm going to pick my winner, but then they're minus 150 when they're really, it should be somewhere around 130 or 120 or something like that. Just little dimes, dollars and cents here and there. And I feel like there's probably some taking advantage of from the sports books of like, hey, these guys are new. They don't really know what they're looking at. So let's try and, you know, steal a dime or two. And that's, I mean, it feels like that's happening and people are talking about it in that community.
Oh, huge. I mean, that's what they're doing. And like minus 150, dude, keep going, right? Like, you got like Vanderbilt is playing Louisville today. Louisville's a good baseball team, all right? Vanderbilt's like minus 275. Like, so you know what I mean? Like what do you want me to do with this, right? Like, so
it's a baseball game.
Yeah, it's like, come on, dude. Like, yeah, it's out of control, man. And I'll tell you, I get it because sportsbooks are a business. You got to protect yourself.
That's what. Yeah. Keep going.
There's going to be a book that understands. That's like, okay, we could do this and turn this around to be a positive for us. Like, that's what I'm trying to get, and hopefully a sportsbook will do that.
Yeah, that's what I appreciate about you guys. Like, it's at the end of the day, what you're trying to do. It's not just about like, hey, here's my plays and this is the whole thing, but like, it's also here's what goes into it. We want the people, the listeners of the show, or the people who consume this, whatever it is, to be informed more than anything, so they can not only know, you know, what to do and where to look, but also what it means when they put a sports bet in. Like, that's the next step, I think, to the evolution of like sports betting in America.
Completely agree. Absolutely agree. Because, you know, every day there are so many new sports bettors. Like, this industry, you guys know, is massive, and it's been there for a while, right? And yeah, like teaching people how to do it properly. And look, that doesn't mean that, you know, when we say teaching, like that somebody has to be brand new. People teach me every day. Like, I'll see other, you know, I'll watch other shows, listen to other, you know, podcasts, whatever, and they'll break something down like, hey, this is why I bet Major League Baseball team totals. It's like, dude, I never thought about that. You know what I mean? Like the mindset of that. So yeah, like the learning process for sure. Biggest part of it, Jeff.
Did you get busy on the Kentucky Derby this weekend? How'd that turn out?
I did. All right. So luckily, you know, I hit on the like place and show, and it was not me. It was somebody, you know, with our brand that knew what they were doing. I did not have Mystic Dan whatsoever. So I was lucky to get 2 and 3. But I didn't get the winner. I didn't see that coming. What about you?
So, yeah, like I was sitting at a place. I mean, I'm at my wife's parents' house, and it's in Nebraska, and you can't sports bet on your phone in Nebraska. And so Mike Tirico's telling, Allan, it's a thing. It's a bad thing. Now the sports betting thing is coming along. We're getting to the places where you could actually go to the casinos and bet now. But there's really specific rules, and the mobile part did not pass.
Tom Osborne's a powerful man, Allan.
We are not in good shape here, Allan.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm glad you told me that. I'm going to research that. Keep going. Sorry.
Yeah. Anyway,
that's wild.
So but you can always horse bet. So Mike Tirico's telling me about the Twin Spires thing. And so I hop on there, and I just, threw a couple things down, and I have no idea what I'm doing. Once again, uninformed sports bettor. But I just so happened to put a couple bones on Mystic Dan. So I got lucky. And that was my win of the weekend.
Dude, that's huge, man. Well done on that one. And side note, like, I don't know how you guys feel. Like, I'm a Tirico guy. Like,
I am too.
Like Tirico. Yeah, he's good, man. Like, when you see that Tirico's on the call, you're like, all right, we're in good hands. I trust it.
No doubt about it. Yeah, so that was I turned out well on that one, and nice. by a snout, by a nose, I didn't.
What odds were it? What did you get?
It was, gosh, I could pull it out of my phone real quick.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but I mean, it was obviously double digits,
I think it was 15, I want to say.
Yeah, nice, dude. That's awesome, man. Congrats.
Yeah, it felt nice. Thank you. I should have tweeted at you and said, cash it. That's what I was doing. Okay, and then last night in the NBA, first of all, I was discussing this earlier. This is outside of sports betting. How do you feel about the Knicks being like I proudly proclaimed earlier that the Knicks are kind of America's team. I feel like everybody is rooting for the Knicks right now. I'm on board with this train. What about you?
Yeah, I am too, right? And look, I'm normally like anti the New York team. Like, it gets annoying. But I'm with you. I like the Knicks team. Now, you bring up an interesting point of like, the America's team, right? Like, I feel like it's 50-50. You're either like a Knicks guy or like a Timberwolves guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what is most fun. In Denver, this could be danger zone for game 3. Like, a sweep now is very real. But I'm with you, man. Like the Knicks, dude, like, and especially the comeback they made last night, like it felt all the way to the fourth quarter like, dude, the Knicks gonna blow it. They can't do it. And then they just took over, man. Like they're fun. I'm with you there.
No, I think the Nuggets are definitely, danger zone is a good way to describe it. I don't think they're winning that series. Just that the Timberwolves have turned into this like blood in the water team that they're actually horrifying right now.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, look, they did it without one of their best players last night on the road. Like that place in game 3 going back to Minnesota is going to be rowdy. You know what I mean? Like like this could be bad. Like I think now we're just on like Jokic brothers watch. Like they're gonna fight somebody. Like that's gonna happen.
They better. Honestly, I'd welcome it if I'm a Nuggets fan. I'd welcome it if they got some, they got some fangs to them here in the last couple games, however long this series go. Like, come on, let's wake
up. Like a manager getting ejected.
Yeah. I might get out there, Allan, and just get run on purpose just to see if it could spark somebody.
Oh, I mean, that's what I was going to ask you. Like, you're a Nuggets guy. Like, it feels like it's just like a dead like locker room. Like, what has happened?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't explain it. They haven't met this much resistance in a while. Is the best way I could. And they certainly were not. I'm going to blame the Lakers on this one because they were not prepared coming off of the Lakers series for what the Timberwolves were going to throw at them. So I'm gonna once again use this as an opportunity to hate on the Lakers and say, hey, come on, give them a better look than they would have been more prepared for the series. But no, the Lakers had to roll over and die.
Of course, you know what? I'm with you on that. We are playing the Lakers. That is the issue here.
Yep.
100%.
That's what I'm going for. What do we like? Any midweek baseball that you're interested in? Like it's starting to heat up. All of a sudden, we're going to be talking about how we can get AB up here for the College World Series again in a couple weeks. What do we like, either whether it's a college baseball slate or beyond?
Yeah, okay. So, number one, that is happening, regardless if Tennessee makes it or not. But that is happening because now my boss is a really good guy. I'm a big fan of him. Oh, yeah, that's me. I'm happy now from doing it. All right, so that's happening. Number two, so we only have 2 weekends left, really, of the regular season. Then it gets conference play, regionals, etc. So you got to be careful with the money line. That's why I'm playing totals here. And you're going to see teams not want to use their bullpens because these last weekend series are so important. East Carolina is on an absolute tear. They're playing Duke tonight. That's going to be a hell of a game. I like East Carolina there. And then, man, like, look for totals. If you can find Mercer games, I know that sounds crazy. Mercer and Wright State. DC's hit overs all the time. Same thing with Illinois. They're crazy. They always hit over.
I like it. There we go. There's some stuff. That's what you guys are doing over at Driving the Line. Just inform people.
It is, man. But yeah, dude, East Carolina tonight, man.
All right. Once again, get your bosses in order, whoever that may be, and say you're just I'm taking a couple days. We can come up here and like do shows or whatever you want to do, but just come up here for a couple days and see Omaha in June, take a couple Jello shots, and then drive back home.
Oh, I'm telling you, it's happening. I cannot wait. And yeah, I'll be right there with you guys.
All right, AB. Talk to you later.
I appreciate it, bud.
Allan Bell of the AB3 and Driving the Line. I almost said it again. driving the line. That's what I like about Allan. It's informing people. He's all across the board. And you know what Allan is? He's a listener. Right? So I tell him, hey, look, we don't have the app thing going on in Nebraska right now. Oh, interesting. I'm going to look into that a little bit. Hey, I think he said last night on Twitter, he's like, you know what we're going to do? We're just going to go over and look at somebody else's podcast and just flood them with likes and views and stuff like that today.
Wow.
That's what AB's all about. It's about the good of the game.
I like that.
He's good vibes all the way around. And he definitely has takes on food. So that's another reason we have to get him up here for the World Series.
There is a treasure trove of content that we could do with Allan Bell.
Indeed. Coming back, we'll get to the odd news. Stay tuned because we'll talk about Nebraska's schedule and how people are starting to realize that it's not that hard and further convincing themselves that Nebraska could win many more football games this year. By the way, how do I look? How's the light?
I actually think it looks as good as it has ever looked right now.
Okay.
I know that it's up pretty high.
So I'm sweating. And now I have a headache.
Yeah.
Because I have this light on the brightest it can get.
You look great.
I am in physical pain. And I don't want to go through this every day.
You will get
so
used to it.
I'm sad that I have set this standard to where this actually is the best version of how we look, because I do not like this at all. I like it like ideally I like it like this.
You see, now your hat is creating a shadow over your eyes, and
this feels a lot better though.
That might be a good compromise right there with the hat.
Okay.
Up at that weird angle.
Or I could turn it down to here.
We could also like prep better and like use makeup and things like that.
Yeah, Charles says on YouTube, Connor could use some powder.
Yeah. I don't know how committed we want to be to the television show.
I will not be wearing makeup on this show.
I mean,
have you ever been in a situation where you've done like a TV deal and they try to put makeup on you?
Yes.
You have?
Yes.
Did you accept the makeup?
I accepted the makeup, but it looked like there was a powdery, cakey substance on my face.
I have done a couple TV deals, and
You said no?
Well, I just...
Who the hell do you think you are?
I just think, like, you know...
None for me. I know better, Mr. TV person.
You want the real me. I'm not tan. I don't have a golden hue to my face.
You do not.
If I'm hot and sweaty, I want you to know that I'm hot and sweaty. I want
Warts and all, baby.
I want you to know where I'm coming from. Or if I show up on that gambling show in Vegas at 5:30 in the morning, coming off of the White Castle incident, like I'm gonna have my coffee with me and I'm gonna be wearing sunglasses. That happened.
No, I think that's a way a person in the Vegas morning should look.
Yeah.
Like that's.
Even if early, Josh.
Even if that's not what you're actually doing, like that's a great bit, is sunglasses and a coffee.
Yeah, because it invites the first question from the people on the show, which is,
what'd you do last night?
How's your night last night?
You get after it?
So it's like, yeah, I dropped a bottle of beer at White Castle and told a little kid I hated him.
I respect it.
I respect it. But I also respect the workers at White Castle. All right, come back. Odd News is next on 1620 The Zone.
Remember, no matter how you listen, it's still AM radio. 1620 The Zone.
Creighton Sports Update. Creighton sports fans, as the spring season is nearing its finish, the Creighton Athletic Department wants to thank the fans and sponsors for another incredible season. Without your support, their student athletes would not have the experience they do. Thanks again, and go Jays.
$16.20 The Zone proudly supports Creighton Athletics.
You go into your shower feeling, but as soon as you reach for the Irish Spring, your day immediately gets better. That crisp, fresh, unmistakable Irish Spring scent zings your brain and awakens your senses. So when you finally emerge from the shower, 37 minutes later, because you pay the water bill so you can stay in there as long as you want, you're ready to take on the day and smell great doing it. Irish Spring Body Wash and Bar Soap. Fresh, green, Irish. Shop now at Walmart.
When you get nachos, tacos, empanadas, spicy queso with jalapenos, Pepto-Bismol's there. Pepto-Bismol provides fast, effective relief from nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, and diarrhea. All the things that can happen unexpectedly on vacation. So before you travel, pack the Pepto. Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Don't miss this week's Zone Deal.
This week's half-off deal is Cops. Receive 2 $25 gift vouchers for just $25. Cops makes delicious pizza, fresh salads, and tasty charred wings. For the basic menu, click copspizza.com. And for the extended menu, visit them at Shadow Lake Town Center, 180th and Center, and the newly reopened 72nd and Jones locations.
Zone deals go fast. 9 a.m. Friday, 1620thezone.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/radio and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. hims.com/radio.
And now we've reached the point in the show where Josh Odson reads the peculiar, the bizarre, the comical, the odd news with Odd Son. Odd news, Odd Son. See what we did there? The odd news with Oddson.
Hey, remember when creepy Greg Doyle asked that question to Caitlin Clark?
I do remember that.
I want you to say, what did he say? I want you to say that to me.
I'm glad that you're here.
I'm glad that you're here. Ugh, weird.
Don't be weird to women.
He has indeed been suspended by the Indianapolis Star.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think it warranted that.
Well,
or is it for something else? Did I speak too soon?
I don't think so. So
that's a long time to rule on that too, by the way.
Greg Doyle, this is from Bob Kravitz, who he's of blogs now. I think he's just like, former columnist. He's like, yeah, I still want to write stuff, but I don't want to work, that kind of thing. Greg Doyle, the Indianapolis Star columnist who was roundly criticized for his actions during Caitlin Clark's introductory press conference on April 17th, is in the middle of a 2-week suspension handed down by the Star's owners, according to multiple sources. He will not attend any Fever games this summer, but will continue to write columns about the team from watching them at home on his television.
Oh. This is wildly speculating here, but I wonder if afterwards Caitlin Clark said, I don't want that guy near me.
I don't know. It doesn't really seem like her.
It doesn't seem like her, or maybe the team.
Maybe the team was just like, why don't we just keep some distance?
Let's be overprotective of our superstar.
Doyle, who was reached today, would not address the issue, choosing to lay low and prepare for a trip to visit his son. According to sources, he is expected to return Monday. I wonder who his source is. Probably Greg Doyle.
Seems likely.
Greg Doyle's most recent column, a Colts-related piece, was published April 29th. He's the fact that the Pacers are in the throes of a second-round playoff series against the Knicks. The Star had hoped to keep this under wraps, but it's hard to hide the fact that a lead columnist at a major metro newspaper has disappeared just weeks after an uncomfortable and unfortunate give and take with Clark at a significant press conference. There you go. Suspended. Anyway, Josh, the odd news.
I did not see that coming, I'll be honest. I don't know if you heard this, Connor, but Drake and Kendrick Lamar don't like each other.
Yes, that appears to be clear now.
They are in the throes, probably towards the end of the throes of one of the biggest rap feuds of the last 2 decades.
Oh, are we sure it's coming to an end, you think?
I don't know where else it could escalate to other than...
Oh, there's always more words, Josh.
Death.
There's always more words to say.
I mean, I don't know if any other children are in hiding, but we'll see. In one of the diss tracks, Kendrick Lamar said that he was going to put a little sweet chin music to Drake. Sweet chin.
He was going to throw a fastball up underneath him?
No, more like a wrestling move, the super kick to one's chin and jaw area.
Okay.
Well, as to be expected, the WWE has pounced on this and offered Kendrick Lamar and Drake an opportunity to squash their beef inside a WWE ring.
Okay, so if they do this, which they won't,
they won't
because they actually hate each other,
right?
It would, like, then you could just say, okay, this whole thing was just for clicks the entire time. You guys got your songs out of it, got a bunch of talk in the press, and then you're gonna fake wrestle at a wrestling event. No, please don't do this.
Yeah, don't.
Not every feud needs to escalate to a celebrity boxing match or a WWE wrestling event.
That's I knew you loved celebrity boxing, so I wanted to make sure we included this in the
I
odd
am
news
so out on celebrity boxing.
Wrestling legend Shawn Michaels tweeted the idea as he gave many a man sweet chin music over the course of his wrestling career. Kendrick, you and Drake are formally invited to WWE to settle this thing. I'm even offering my services to mediate.
That's nice.
That's very big of him.
I'll offer my services to mediate
and be seen in public with you. But yeah, that's absolutely
don't do that.
Not going to happen.
No, don't do that.
Not going to happen. But
so apparently since that Euphoria one, there's been 6 more diss tracks.
That's right. That's right. There's many are accusing it there being of a mole in Drake's camp, feeding information to Kendrick Lamar.
Interesting.
Which I find fascinating, by the way. We go to the North Carolina lottery, where I'm always on top of my North Carolina lottery news. Good Capri Sun during the break.
Very good.
Okay. Oh, how dare you ASMR food and drink on the show? That's my bit.
This is my only time to do anything besides talk.
The pick 3 contest in North Carolina this week ended in the winning numbers 666. And as you can imagine, that created a lot of winners. 5,662 people won the quote-unquote top prize. The 3-digit combination was drawn last night in their pick 3 drawing, leading to $2.1 million in prizes being owed. The 50-cent pick 3 ticket carries a top prize of $250.
So they had to split $250 more than 500 ways?
No, I believe they had to pay out $250 5,662 times.
Oh, okay. And that totals
$2.1 million.
Sorry, I didn't follow. There was too many numbers.
You were in a Capri Sun.
No. I was listening. There was just so many numbers all at once.
Well, 250 times 5,662.
I got it.
1.41 million.
Okay.
So there must have been some like, oh, you got 2 numbers right. That gets this amount of money. Something like that. That's a lot. It's a lot of winners.
That's usually the story with these lotteries, right? It's just, it turned out. I mean, it's like a Bruce Almighty situation. Just like a Bruce, what happens in Bruce Almighty? Everyone prays to win the lottery, and then Bruce, aka God, is making all of the prayers come true, and all of a sudden everybody in Buffalo wins the lottery. But there's a lot of people in Buffalo who prayed to win the lottery, and so they all get like $5 a piece or something like that.
Careful what you wish for.
Exactly. That was the story of Bruce Almighty. Josh, watch Bruce Almighty with me.
Okay. Love Bruce Almighty.
Yeah, that's my kind of movie.
That's the good one.
Yeah, Evan Almighty was bad.
Yeah.
I mean, Bruce Almighty was bad too, but it wasn't as bad as Evan Almighty.
It worked. That movie worked. We go to China for our final story.
China.
There's these Chinese counterfeit rings, man. They're getting out of hand. A zoo in China sparked all-out pandemonium after they dressed dogs as pandas because they didn't have any pandas.
Yikes.
The fake pandas unveiled May 1st at a zoo in China were actually Chow Chow dogs, big-haired breed from northern China. They put the so-called panda dogs on display in an enclosure every day from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., attracting throngs of people, despite the rather obvious fact that they were not pandas.
I don't know. Like if you get one of those zoo guys who's like, or zoo girls or whatever, that comes along and they're wearing like the zoo outfit, they're wearing their head to toe in khaki.
Yeah.
And they come around and they'll be like, this is a very rare breed of whatever, panda. Like they could give, I would probably think to myself, it just looks like a dog to me. But then the appropriate response by that person, if you're continuing on with the lie, would be, well, that's just what they look like. Sorry. I mean, they do kind of look like dogs, I guess, don't they? And then I would move on about my day, and I would tell everyone that I knew that I saw this great panda at the China Zoo.
That's a great strategy, Connor. When asked about the pandas, the zoo went the opposite way, saying,
yep, they were dogs.
Look, we got no pandas here, so we did this.
Yikes.
Many visitors accused the animal sanctuary of animal cruelty. However, zoo officials insisted the dog fishing scheme isn't harmful to the animals, saying people also dye their dogs' hairs. Natural dye can be used on dogs if they have long fur.
I don't think they need to be tried for animal cruelty. It's probably just give people their money back. Send them home. Sorry, we couldn't pull a fast one on you.
Many social
Didn't
media
work.
users said, what's the big deal? The dogs are cute.
They should have a dog enclosure at the zoo. I mean, they already have the goat one where you could go in there and hang and roll around with the goats.
Would you go to like a dog petting zoo section at Henry Dorley? Like, obviously, Henry Dorley would be above this. It'd be one of the lesser zoos.
I
think you'd get some people like, oh, I can go over there and pet some dogs. Okay.
I think it would take people away from the goats and the pigs. Or maybe I don't think they have the pig barnyard anymore.
No. I hate
Did they
that
move
part
the
of
pigs up there?
I hate that part of the zoo.
You don't like the goats?
I don't like my kid petting goats. It feels like a dirty animal.
Oh, it is horrifyingly dirty. The whole zoo is disgusting.
Yeah.
There's, like I said, Josh, you just have to succumb to it at some point. But I like to roll around with the goats every once in a while. I definitely wash my hands after that.
Oh, you would? Okay.
Yes.
They have hand sanitizer right there.
They're nice though. They rub up against you. You could pet them with their little brush. I like the goats.
They are really nice.
Yeah. And you used to be able to like, go in there and touch the pigs too, but I don't think they have the pigs.
I don't think they do.
They don't have the pigs in there anymore. But it wouldn't be surprising if some zoo just threw a couple dogs in there too.
Yeah,
I don't think that'd be a bad play, honestly.
You'd have to make sure that they're the right kind of dog, but it could work.
Like good dogs?
Yeah.
Couple good ones from the YouTube stream. Amazing Daniel writes in, until one barks. You can trick me. Yeah, until it barks.
Yeah,
I don't know. You still might be able to get me after that. It's like, why is it barking then?
Pandas make that sound.
That's just you've never seen this kind of panda before, have you? I guess not.
It means he likes you. Oh, the panda likes me?
Andrew says that there's a rabbit hole out there that says that pandas are fake.
Like birds aren't real?
Like birds aren't real. Pandas aren't real. And they're all just other animals
painted,
dyed as pandas. Boy, these pandas are really good at fetch and rolling over. Charles says. Yippee says the image in my head of Happer and the goat pin rolling around is something. I don't like literally roll around, but I'll hang out with the goats for sure. You don't hang out with the goats at the goat thing? You're too disgusted by their activity?
Oh, the child likes to, so we do, but
in a way, Josh, we are
the
we are really the attraction at the zoo.
Oh, is that a fact?
I mean, have you seen the people watching at the zoo? It's incredible. It's better than the Strip in Las Vegas.
There is good people watching at the zoo.
People got their kids on leashes.
Leashes.
Every single one of them's got a pretzel. A giant bag of popcorn that's being spilled everywhere. There's the fat kid, two-handing a giant Diet Coke. That's the zoo.
These are insanely accurate portrayals.
No, that's the zoo, Josh. The zoo isn't the gorillas. That's the zoo.
He's going to the splash park, swimming in a t-shirt, letting the soaker go up his shorts.
I pay for a membership on that, not the damn pandas. That's the odd news. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Connor.
We'll come back noon hour. Time to explain to you all the Happer coefficient, something that I have created that is probably pointless. Next on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
My taco pie is really something special, and it can't be imitated. It starts with my zesty taco sauce, seasoned beef, onions, lettuce, tomatoes, mounds of cheddar, and mozzarella cheese. This pie is the real deal. For a limited time, build your own feast with the specialty pizza, like my taco pie, a one-topping pizza, and cinnamon monkey bread. Do yourself a favor and order. Today, Godfather's Pizza. Do it.
Murphy Tractor and Equipment is your source for John Deere construction equipment rental. We rent high-quality equipment and attachments with add-on options in TopCon precision construction technology. Whether you need 1 week or 6 months, we rent a variety of equipment to help you get the job done. All our rental equipment is fully serviced, fueled, and ready to get to work. Let Murphy Tractor be your first choice for your construction equipment rental needs. Visit us online at murphytractor.com.
Creighton Sports Update.
Creighton sports fans, as the spring season is nearing its finish, the Creighton Athletic Department wants to thank the fans and sponsors for another incredible season. Without your support, their student athletes would not have the experience they do. Thanks again, and go Jays.
$16.20 The Zone proudly supports Creighton Athletics.
Nominations for the Step Forward Awards are now open. These awards are the state's most prestigious awards for volunteerism, and we need your help to find outstanding volunteers from your region of the state. If you know a volunteer who deserves to be honored for their service, visit serve.nebraska.gov and click Nominate Now. Made possible by sponsors like Omaha Public Power District. Nominations must be submitted by June 1st. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
It hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm like, I never smoked a cigarette. How in the hell did I get lung cancer?
I don't smoke. I've never smoked. So I started Googling. One word just kept coming up, like it was in bold and red, and it was radon.
Radon is the number 2 cause of lung cancer.
Well, you don't know if it's in your home. You got to test. You can't see it. You can't taste it. You can't smell it.
What's your level? Radon Defense Midwest can help. Visit radonradio.com for a special offer. That's radonradio.com.
Email us on the Equitable inbox with whatever is on your mind. The Zone inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. You can hit me up, agree, disagree, tell me your thoughts on life at Hanley@1620thezone.com. We want to hear from you on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone. Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right, so we saw Joe Klatt's thing yesterday about how he's got Nebraska in the top 25. He says they're number 22. He gives all his reasons why. He says their quarterback play sucked that last year, and it should be a lot better this year. I think he's right about that. Josh, thoughts?
I would agree. I would think he's right. Yes.
I think he's got a good one on he's on the right line anyway on that. But another reason he gave is the schedule's not that difficult. What was the thought after the end of last year? Oh boy, that was your best chance ever to get to a bowl game. They lost their last 4. They were sitting right on the doorstep. And I tell you what, that schedule ain't never going to be that easy again.
If not now, when?
If not now, when? Many have said, which is a thing that I hate about what people do around here all the time. This was our only opportunity. The sun will not rise next year. We have a bit of a we tend to do that to ourselves sometimes.
Absolutely.
I appreciate the urgency, Josh. I appreciate the urgency. People want to do it, and they want to do it now. First of all,
do it now.
On the thought process of only getting, the margin of error Nebraska has to, get over to get to a bowl game, I think you should set your sights higher. And then you look at Nebraska's schedule this year. So there was this tweet from at CFB Numbers. They put together graphs and things like that.
Ooh.
And they did the axes were average opponent win total for against Power 5 schools only, and then preseason win total, like Sportsbook preseason win total.
Oh, okay. So this isn't just...
It's not just historical. It's also what people think that they're going to be like this year. A lot of times the Sportsbook are pretty close. Sometimes they miss by 2 or 3 wins. Sometimes they miss by a bunch, but very, very rarely.
House always wins. Am I right?
The house usually wins.
Mm-hmm.
That much is true. So Nebraska showed up toward the bottom right quadrant, which is along with some of the easiest schedules in America, Power 5 schedules in America. They're lower in the historical axis than they are in the preseason win total for this year axis, but they're right around teams like Maryland and TCU and Iowa and Syracuse and Ole Miss and Notre Dame and Missouri, Utah, K-State are all sitting there like, oh boy, we got a chance. We got a chance this year. And my point, like, I thought to myself while looking at this yesterday, I was like, man, the thought process going into this, the new Big Ten, coming off of last year was right. It's never going to be this easy again, right? Oregon, Washington, USC, and UCLA are coming along, and you're gonna play, 7, 8, 9, like all your schedule is. You might be in a year in some years where you play literally everybody. If you remember, Nebraska actually has their conference opponents for the next few years already lined up, and so I took those schedules, and this is just kind of to prove a point more than anything. It doesn't give you any sense of what their schedules are actually going to be like, because God knows what their schedule is going to be like in 2028. We know who they're going to play physically, but we don't know what any of those teams are going to be like. Maybe Iowa by then has fallen off a cliff. Maybe.
It could happen.
Maybe Purdue is the best team in college football by that point. It could happen. But then there's another thing buried in there about the playoff. So I and we'll get to that in a second. But basically, I've come up with my own conference strength of schedule method. It's very, very simple, actually. It's just average opponent wins over the last 5 seasons, 2018 to 2023, not including 2020. And I've assigned each of these teams a number, and the total number at the end of the season equals the Happer scheduling coefficient. That's what I'm calling it. So would you care to know which schedule out of the next 5 Nebraska schedules, 24, 25, 26, 27, and 28, is the easiest according to the Happer schedule coefficient?
I think that's why we're here.
Would you like to guess?
You
could guess anything. It doesn't mean anything.
I'll take the lowest thing. I feel like this season has set up very nicely for Nebraska, and it is the easiest.
You got it. With a Happer scheduling coefficient of 66.6, Nebraska average opponent this coming year has a 5-year rolling average of about 7.5 wins. Each team has an average of, when you average them all together, wins 7.5 games per year. That's not very good, Josh. Seven wins? It's not that good.
No.
Right? Especially considering that Nebraska plays Ohio State, who's averaging just shy of 12 wins per year over the last 5 years. So Illinois, Purdue, Rutgers. Now, there's different ways you could look at this too. Rutgers trending up. Are they better than their 3.8 schedule coefficient says? I believe so. That's going to be a tougher game than just your run-of-the-mill 3-win team. Is Indiana potentially worse in 2024 than their 4.5 Happer scheduling coefficient number? Maybe. They're in for a pretty big turnaround. What will happen? What will come of USC and UCLA, who are moving into the Big Ten for the first time and have to experience all this? Conference realignment has not been kind to many teams. Nebraska included in that conversation, of course. And which direction will they be pointed by the time Nebraska meets them in the season? Also, I will add this. Nebraska itself has only amassed 21 wins over the last 5 years.
That's right, Connor. Let's do the obligatory. But, Connor, your schedule is tough when you can't beat anybody like Nebraska.
Not including 2020, Nebraska is 21-39 since 2018. That stinks. That's bad. They're 13-32 over that period of time. You know who has in the Big Ten? You know who has less wins in conference in the Big Ten or the new schools coming over from the Pac-12 during that period of time? Less wins than 13 than that of Nebraska over the last 5 years. You know how many of them there are?
One.
There are two.
Two.
There are two.
He's doing so well.
None of them played in the Big Ten West.
Really?
Yeah. That's right. Nebraska has the lowest Big Ten Conference win total in the last 5 full seasons in the entire Big Ten West. It's been bad around here.
Good thing divisions aren't a thing anymore, Connor.
That's part of the point. I'm glad you mentioned that.
Oh.
Rutgers, by the way, the least amount of conference wins over that period of time, and Indiana, the second least amount of conference wins over that period of time. 6 and 10, respectively. Nebraska's 13, ranks 3rd from the bottom. Maryland's 15, ranks 4th from the bottom. Northwestern's 16, ranks 5th from the bottom. And then we go onward and upward from there. Nebraska, on average, over the last 5 seasons, not including 2020, average season, they go 4.2 and 7.8 and 2.6 and 6.4 in conference. That is bad. That is indeed bad. So I say all this to mention, yes, of course, there is an expectation with all this, given we're talking about easy schedules and things like that, that Nebraska will hold up its end of the bargain. That Nebraska will at the very least be competitive and at the very least marginally better. I have hopes that they will be better than marginally better, as I assume you do as well. But I had to get the obligatory. Yes, I know. I've lived here for a long time. I'm aware that Nebraska loses every game. I'm aware. I've done Big Red overreactions, guys. I lived it. I saw it all happen.
I seen it.
I realize after doing this exercise how futile it is, considering a variety of different things, including everything changes. So who knows? There's a general idea. But my takeaway is this. You still play, like, on the thought process that the new Big Ten would challenge everybody more than the old Big Ten West would. I don't know that that's necessarily the case. You still play 9 of them, right? I think you're less likely to be so heavily front-loaded, especially if you're coming from a team that was in Nebraska's shoes, being in the Big Ten West. There was only 1 year, I think, where they played Ohio State and Michigan, right? 2021. Maybe it was the case in 2022 as well. Maybe they didn't play Ohio State in 2022.
They do a good job of not giving you everybody.
That year they played Ohio State, Michigan, and Michigan State. And those were their crossover games, and that was really, really difficult. In this scheduling model, You're cycling through a variety of different teams. Nebraska's only scheduled rival every year, their only scheduled game every single year is Iowa. And so I think you're more likely to be not so terribly front-loaded and not so terribly back-loaded in any given year. There's pluses and minuses to that. I mean, Nebraska's had times, 2016 was one of these times, where their schedule was super light, and it coincided with them having a decent enough team to be able to win all those games, got them in a playoff conversation, and then, of course, they crapped the bed later on in the season when the schedule got really, really difficult on them. But you don't trade the 9 wins that year for anything, right? And then there's a second thing that goes into this, which is the criteria for the playoff selection is now vastly different because the playoff is different. Remember, Josh?
Playoff is different.
We have a 12-team playoff next year.
People forget.
We're going to have more than that. We have a 16-team playoff coming up the year after or 2
like
years
that.
later. I always forget. I have to remind myself of these things during the summer. Down the road, something like that. There's more teams, more and more teams every single day going into the college football playoff. And so we live in a world now where a team like Nebraska only has to win 8, 9, 10 games, not necessarily make a conference championship, to be in the conversation for the college football playoff, which of course is your ultimate goal. No longer do you have to run the table in the Big Ten West. Now, this wasn't the case anyway, but no longer do you have to run the table in the Big Ten West and hopefully get lucky in crossover games to just be able to qualify for a Big Ten championship game, thus qualify yourself for the conversation of the college football playoff. That's not the game anymore. The game is winning enough to get yourself in a more general conversation rather than making. You don't have to make the Big Ten championship game in order to make the college football playoff. In the case of the Big Ten and the SEC, there will be 2 teams every single year that make the college football playoff, but don't even make their conference's championship game. Those teams will have 9 or 10 wins attached to their names. Could Nebraska be one of those teams? In this scheduling model that is so daunting and scary for everybody? Yeah, of course. Because I looked at the scheduling coefficient for the years going forward. It doesn't alter that much.
Just look at the scheduling coefficient, guys.
Just think about the scheduling coefficient, Josh. Think about it. It's a real number. So if you can, I'm going to throw a lot at you here. Think about this. Nebraska's conference opponents this year are Illinois, Purdue, Rutgers, Indiana. This is kind of by perceived strength, right? Illinois, Purdue, Rutgers, Indiana, USC, UCLA, and then there's Wisconsin, Iowa, Ohio State, right? That would be, according to most, the tough portion of your schedule. Ohio State, I'm not talking about dates in which they happen. I'm talking about just tier levels of opponents. Ohio State, Wisconsin, Iowa. Remember, you play Iowa every year. Next year,
it's a rivalry, guys.
2025. You have Northwestern back on the schedule. You have Michigan State, who's trying to get things up off the ground. I'm not saying anything about these programs. Nebraska's trying to get their stuff off the ground too. But once again, we're talking about perceived strength. UCLA is on the schedule again next year. USC is on the schedule next year. Minnesota is on the schedule next year. And then you have Iowa, Penn State, and Michigan. That's kind of your upper tier, right? No more difficult than Nebraska getting crossover matched up with Michigan, Penn State, and Indiana, or whatever it is from the East, or Ohio State. Now that's obviously a really heavy one. 2026, Illinois is back on the schedule. Indiana's back on the schedule. Maryland's back on the schedule. Rutgers is back on the schedule. And then you get Ohio State, Washington, and Oregon. Everybody's getting 3 tough games every year. 2027, Ohio State, Washington, Oregon, Wisconsin, all on the schedule, along with Iowa. 2020
like that sometimes.
2028, Iowa, Michigan, but Northwestern's there, and there's your upper tier like Penn State, and then Purdue is back on the schedule, and Wisconsin. So it doesn't. What I'm saying is, what I found in this quote unquote research is that it doesn't really vary all that much. Like, we're talking about the difference of one opponent, just like we were talking about the difference between one opponent in the Big Ten West versus the Big Ten East. Do we or do we not get Ohio State this year? That's always going to matter. And in this new version of the Big Ten, it will be, do we or do we not get Ohio State this year? Do we or do we not get Oregon this year? And in Nebraska's case, in their future schedules, they get both of them in 2026 and in 2027. And those are the years.
2026 and 2027.
Oh, that's when there's where the scheduling coefficient really shoots up the ladder there.
But that's when the Dylon coefficient really takes
The
off.
Dylon coefficient. We forget about the Dylon coefficient, Josh. So all this is to say, like I said, you still play 9 games. It's not terribly front-loaded, back-loaded in any given year. You're not going to run into a year that's so easy that it's going to be like, wow, this schedule is just set up for Nebraska to win blank amount of games. Like, it'll spread thinly that way, and it makes sense with the way the playoff is set up, where all you have to do is get yourself to 9 in order to be in the conversation. Every game doesn't mean everything anymore. And yes, that takes away from our sport in a variety of different ways, and I'm sad about that, as we've discussed for many, many summer shows on end. But it changes the game a little bit, that's for sure. And it does set up a little bit for Nebraska this year. How much is the case?
Got an email from John.
Hi, John.
No H. We know Connor in numbers. In his world, is 8 wins actually 10 wins? Seems like that could help the Huskers.
8 wins is 10 wins? When did I say that?
Well, you said 38 is 40 and things like that.
See, 8 and 10 are different. You see how that's different?
It's too small to be skipping numbers.
38 and 40 is the same.
Okay.
Too small to be skipping numbers. 8 and 10 are different. Like, do you think 4 and 5 are the same? No, 4 and 5 is 20% different. That can't be the same.
That's a good point.
So, yeah.
I mean, you're the one doing the numbers. We're just asking the question.
I answer to tell you how I feel about these numbers. 8 and 10. Well, in the days of the college football playoff, it's not that far away. You could win 8 and be in the conversation up until the last couple of weeks of the season, theoretically, as well. So once you guys know this, but it's going to change the way the framing in which we talk about college football. That's for sure. All right. We will come back. Time to get to MLB reaction, overreaction.
Oh, here we go.
The writers, wake up, writers. Have yourself a Capri Sun.
Connor did.
Coming back on 1620 The Zone.
Mornings with Sharp and Handley.
I'm telling you here, kids aren't coming to play college football or basketball for school. It's just the reality of it. How many times have you thought, wow, I wonder what his GPA is? There's a reason why when they announce starting lineups, they don't put their majors on there anymore, okay?
Gary, student comes before athlete.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, athlete ahead of student. Okay, there's 30,000 other students.
Mornings with Sharp and Handley. Weekdays 6 to 10 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Mild and breezy for Tuesday. Expect mostly to partly sunny skies. West to southwest winds will gust 20 to 30 miles per hour at times. Can't rule out a spotty late day shower, though most will stay dry. Highs in the low 70s. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV News Watch 7.
The Connor Happer Show returns in minutes on 1620 The Zone.
Memorial Day deals are yours now at Jensen Tire and Auto, including money saver deals on new sets of 4 Goodyear, Continental, General, Cooper, Kelly, and Maxxis tires. AC service too. Click on JensenTireandAuto.com now.
Why is there so much pride at Wisner Pilger Elementary School in Wisner, Nebraska?
Our school was one of only 65 schools across the nation that was recognized for exceptional student performance and academic growth. Every day, our students, teachers, support staff, and parents step up to the challenge to make learning exceptional for every one of our kids.
It's something that makes our Wisner Pilger community very proud.
Tell us why you're public school proud at publicschoolproudnebraska.org.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
Hi, this is John Bishop. Since the day I got my driver's license, I've had a check next to the organ and tissue donor box. It's a selfless gift because healthy organ donors can save up to 8 lives. And with tissue donation, dozens more can get the gift of sight, and burn victims can get life-changing skin grafts. Anybody can register, and there's no cost to you or your family. Check that organ donor box next time you renew your license, or visit goodguysavelives.com. Learn more about organ and tissue donation today and see how you can save 8 lives at goodguysavelives.com.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote 1-800-670-5151. That's 1-800-670-5151. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. 1-800-670-5151. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Hi, this is Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. Great service never goes out of style. When the digital age dawned, many said computers would be able to handle many of the interactions that used to take a person. Boy, were they wrong. How many times have you called your bank and gotten a recording to press 1 or 2? Not at Equitable. Not only does Equitable answer your call in the first ring, it's answered by a human being. That's because Equitable Bank values its customers. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Member FDIC.
All right, welcome back. Or the Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Time for a little MLB reaction, overreaction. The writers have completed their duties upon request, of course. You don't realize when you guys request this segment that we have to go and, wake these guys up and tell them to actually get off their butts and do their job.
Can we pick the rappers up next week, guys?
Yeah.
Like, come on, like everybody's got to work here.
When they do work, when they do apply themselves, it's usually good stuff.
Oh, definitely.
But we just have to they're just lazy. So
it takes a while to get them started.
Yep.
But you ball up a piece of tinfoil, you throw it in the room, and they're usually good to go after that.
Well, looks like they've come up with some stuff for us today, Josh.
The Padres are just throwing stuff at a wall to see if it sticks at this point.
Yeah, I think this is an appropriate reaction.
Feels pretty close, right?
So on the trade that happened last week, Luis Arraez just really doesn't really do it for me. I think the regression to the mean is coming from an average standpoint. It doesn't really give you much else. Like I'm not going to pretend to know the prospects that the Marlins got in return here. It's not really about that in baseball. It's about kind of just what the big piece is and what you get, and the team that's trying to acquire them and their chances of making the playoffs. But it makes sense that they're the team to jump at Arraez. Like most trade targets are either big bats or big bullpen arms or provide some sort of flexibility. Luis Arraez is really none of those. However, he doesn't strike out and he gets on base a lot, which is nice.
He's going to get you a lot of singles. And the Marlins said, hey, if you take him, we'll pay him.
Yeah, they bought his contract down to nothing.
So, I mean, I guess it's worth the shot, right?
Sure. I mean, like if you're the Padres, it feels like you're trying the hardest you can to keep your window open.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're the Marlins, you know that your window is several years away. So let's sell off any valuable pieces we have. We can pay the money, whatever it might be, and let's get prospects in return to try and rebuild this thing. So yeah,
200 hits last year.
Yeah, I mean he's a good bat, but usually once again in trade pieces you're looking for something specific,
right?
And in this case, it's really not. It's really it doesn't give you much lineup flexibility, and he's not going to hit any home runs. He's just going to get a couple hits a day. I'm not trying to make that sound like a bad thing. I'm not trying to sound like analytics nerd here, where we pretend that hitting 350 in a season is a bad thing. Like it's not. But he's also aging and is on the back end of this really good run that he's had over the last few years too.
They've had him for, if I'm reading this right, it looks like they've had him for 3 games. They've used him as the DH 2 of those games.
Yeah, that's what he's going to be.
Yeah.
He's going to be a DH or a first baseman.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much the story.
They had him playing second the other time.
Or second.
Right.
As well.
Take number 2. By the time we do this segment next week, Paul Skeens or Skleens will be a big leaguer.
Well, I don't know what the weight is. It's hard. Like, it's not like he needs to do anything else
right
in Indianapolis to become a big leaguer.
It's just
so there's really
it?
There's really no logic to this whatsoever. But there's a couple interesting points in it. So just for context, currently in AAA so far this year, he's pitched 27 in the third innings. He's got a .99 ERA.
Storm Chaser scored on him.
And a former Creighton Blue Jay took him deep.
Oh, really?
This is either last night or 2 nights ago. Yes, first time he's hit anybody's hit a home run off of him in AAA.
First trip to Dogtown.
Daniel Robertson, yeah. 45 strikeouts to 8 walks. So he's been dominant, right? There's nothing. He's checked all the boxes. Here's Pirates manager Derek Shelton the other day. Quote, this is actually yesterday. Quote, he's scheduled to pitch in Indy this week. I think with him, there was speculation that he was going to pitch in this series for the Pirates, or that he was going to pitch on Sunday. I think when you have someone that's as talented as he is, there's going to be speculation. People always are going to have it figured out. Well, we haven't figured it out yet. Shelton said, the big leagues are hard. People don't just come here automatically click and go. We have to make sure that we're going to put him in the best position possible before we make the decision to put him in the big leagues. Which, I mean, I would argue to that and say, like, okay, what are you looking for? What position do you need? Like, does he need to pitch in a day game? You know, like what specific, basically what they're saying is he's major league ready. We just haven't figured out the right time to do it yet.
You just got to pull the trigger.
Yeah. We don't know when the right time is. And then there was a story that I was reading yesterday from JJ Cooper of Baseball America. And it was centered around the idea of Paul Skeens staying in AAA and having less of a workload in AAA. And it was kind of interesting in some of the anecdotal points that he brought up. Basically, it was guys who have had their workloads limited in the minor leagues because they know that those guys are going to be future big leaguers and they'll need to get innings out of them when they're in the big leagues, have actually gotten injured at a higher rate than those who just pitched higher workloads throughout their career. Shocking, I know, right? It's almost like when you tackle in practice, you're better at tackling in the games.
Oh,
yeah, it's kind of odd. So he brought up a couple a bunch of different examples of guys who actually have proven to be durable and learned early in their careers on how to carry a heavy workload. MLB pitchers through 2023 who had thrown 150 or more innings in several consecutive seasons, counting minor league work and excluding the 2020 season. Max Scherzer's done it in 15 straight seasons, 150 innings. 11 straight seasons for Kyle Gibson, 9 straight seasons for Jose Barrios, 8 straight seasons for Patrick Corbin, 7 straight seasons for Sandy Alcantara, Luis Castillo, Garrett Cole, Lucas Giolito, Charlie Morton, Aaron Nola. Now, some of those guys have been hurt, but they strung together at least 7 consecutive years in which they pitched 150 innings, which is not, nothing to sneeze at. That's a lot. 200 innings used to be this, it's the holy grail for baseball pitchers and innings. And then he used Hunter Green as the example in the contrary, where he had his innings shortened because he was coming off of Tommy John, and they just took it really, really slow with him. And they wanted to be really careful with him as well. So there's a bunch of different ways to approach it. I think clubs need to come to the understanding that no matter what you do, you don't know what's going to happen on the other side. So It's probably best off that you just do it.
It seems like there's no. It seems very random. So might as well just.
It's not. But it's also not random, right? So there's a lot of stuff that goes into it.
Do you know the last time Paul Skeens pitched? Do you have that like in front of you?
No.
Okay. Because I'm looking at the Pirates' schedule. They're obviously going to trot him out at a home game first, right?
I don't know. I mean,
why
you certainly don't have to.
You don't have to, but God, it would make sense to me just from a money-making perspective.
Does that matter?
Does making money matter?
Yeah, you're a baseball team. You're going to win games.
I think the Pirates would like to make money with Paul Skeens.
Dude, they're going to make money in his second start if it's in Pittsburgh, too.
Paul Skeens.
They're going to have Paul Skeens for a long time.
Yeah, are they?
Paul Skeens last pitched on Sunday.
Okay. So the series against the Angels is out. They have a weekend home series against the Cubs. That feels quick, but I guess it is possible.
Oh, he could pitch next weekend.
Yeah.
He can pitch anywhere in the world this coming weekend. Yeah.
And then you're on the road at Milwaukee, at Wrigley, and then back home against the Giants and Braves. There's no
better time to do it than right now. He's done everything.
Everyone who covers baseball is saying there is no reason for him to be down there. Now they're not going with the service time manipulation accusation. They're just saying like, okay, we've seen enough. It's time.
Yep, that'll do it.
And the Pirates agree. Okay, fine. Yeah. Next week he'll be in the big leagues.
It's coming.
Mm-hmm. Take number 3. The AL Central is in the top half of divisions in baseball.
Okay. So the Guardians are 23-12. The Minnesota Twins just got done winning 12 games in a row. They're up to 20-14. The Kansas City Royals are 21-15. These are all, and the Detroit Tigers are 18-17, and the White Sox suck. No excuse for that one.
No hiding that.
So I think basically how you want to do this is say, which division has the most real life contender teams, right? The NL East has 2. Your division, Josh, has 2. The Phillies and Braves are both real life contender teams that are both very good out of the gate.
Anybody want to step up and beat the Phillies? That'd be great.
The NL West has 1.
That is correct.
The NL Central might have 0.
I would say 0, yes.
The AL,
now, we're talking world championship potential.
Yeah, then you just tier them out from there. The AL East has possibly 2.
Yeah, I would say 2. 2 feels right.
The AL Central has 0.
Right.
The AL West appears to have 0. I believe at this moment.
Today, that is where I stand. Now, the Rangers, their entire rotation is injured.
So you could take the AL East and the NL East out. and then you can kind of go from there. The Guardians, Twins, and the Royals, according to basically everybody right now, are 3 of the top 10 to 12 teams in baseball.
Mm-hmm. It is the only division in the sport with 3 20-game winners right now. Now, I understand a lot of those teams are playing the White Sox. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how you get there. You can only play what your schedule is.
Call me a homer, call me whatever. Like I think that each of those teams has its fair share of staying power. They could hang in the 500 range for the majority of the year, if not all of it. I don't know that any of them are World Series contenders. In fact, I don't think any of them are. But I would take the depth in that division and the toughness that it would take to win that division over what it would take to win, say, the NL Central, or hell, even finish second place in the NL West, right?
The NL West and the AL West are kind of just going to looks like they're just going to beat each other up all year long. The NL Central is not good. The AL East and the NL East are good. So are you asking the AL Central, is it the 3rd or the 4th best division in the sport?
That's basically right on the line.
Yep. Right on the line. And
not an overreaction, Josh.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
Not an overreaction.
Take number 4. Shohei Ohtani is actually more valuable when he's just hitting.
I've seen this question, or a variation of this question, being asked over the last couple of days. In case you were wondering, Shohei Ohtani leads baseball in batting average and home runs. He is, which are big stats, he is in the 100th percentile in the following advanced categories: weighted expected on base percentage. I think that's what that, I might have typed that in wrong. Expected batting average, expected slugging percentage, expected or not expected, but barrel percentage, amount of times you're just, hitting the baseball on the barrel, and hard hit rate. The 100th percentile means that there's nobody who does it better than him. He's in the 99th percentile in average exit velocity, and in the 98th percentile in sweet spot percentage. Basically what I'm telling you is nobody hit ball better than him. Now, the question that we're asking is, did anybody hit ball better than him when he was both pitching and hitting? And the answer to that is yes. But is his value more being the best hitter in baseball, period, compared to being a top 10-ish pitcher in baseball and a top 10-ish hitter in baseball?
I'm sorry, I'm thinking.
I know. Take all the time you need.
Well, it's bad radio.
I don't think he's more valuable, but I really think there is something to letting him DH every day, hit absolute tanks, scream the ball wherever he wants to, and not have to worry about, pitching. Could he still do it at an incredible level? Of course. Could you still use that for your team? Well, maybe. If you're the Dodgers, your rotation's already stacked up.
Yeah.
Why not make him a freakazoid hitter and let your lineup just absolutely wreck everybody? Like, it's the perfect situation.
The dual threat is going to end at some time. Eventually,
why do you bring him back at this point? Why do you bring him back to pitch?
Right, or his body is going to say, I can't do both anymore. I need to pick one. And he is on a team that has the benefit of a good rotation, right? So
I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't pitch anymore.
I think that's the way you go. It'd be nice to know you were getting like the last run of Shohei Ohtani as a pitcher. Like, it'd be nice to have that, but that's just me being a fan.
Yeah, I mean, but maybe there's spots for him, but
on that team, there's no reason for him to be doing both.
He is an incredible hitter when he's just hitting and doesn't have to do anything else.
Now, if the Dodgers want to like manipulate some payroll, like, well, we've got an ace in Shohei Ohtani, like we don't need to pay Walker Buehler. We don't need to pay James Paxton. Like, we don't.
They're not going to do that, clearly.
Right.
They can pay anybody who they want.
Right. They're the Dodgers. They have money. So
exactly.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to pitch anymore.
On to the baseball savant corner. A couple of
Ooh,
things.
Cozy corner.
Ezekiel Tovar leads the league in out of the zone swings, 130, and out of the zone swings and misses, 72. Basically, this guy swings at everything.
Everything.
That is Nick Grimm's favorite player, Ezekiel Tovar. Angels starter Jose Soriano leads baseball in average four-seam fastball miles per hour. 99.1 goes his average fastball miles per hour. Yes, 99.1 is very fast.
So watch his elbow.
Mookie Betts leads baseball. This is a good stat in pitches seen.
Oh, what a great stat.
He has seen the most pitches, 699.
That's such an underrated thing, like working the count and just keep hacking away, poke a ball foul, keep the count alive. Yeah.
Thank you, baseball savant.
And Mookie Betts has already won the NL MVP this year.
And then I took a look down at our slowest players in baseball, the three players with the slowest sprint speeds in baseball.
Oh, wow.
All tied. Anthony Rizzo.
Okay, that was the guy I was thinking of.
Salvador Perez.
Schwarber?
And no, he is in the top 10. Elias Diaz.
Bottom 10.
Our top 10 slowest. Yeah, whatever it is. Bottom 10.
Okay.
Anthony Rizzo, Salvador Perez, and Elias Diaz.
Well, Salvi's doing a lot of sprinting this season.
He is running more, that's for sure. He's also walking more, which is very, very nice.
Oh, look at that. Knicks catchers on this list. Okay.
Elias Diaz.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Rockies are bad.
And
that's what Baseball Savant is telling us.
That is Baseball Savant Corner. I'll take you through some random stats every single week.
I like that.
Jacob Bigelow will join us at the top of the hour. We still have plenty to come. We will return with some with a little college basketball news.
Hopes.
Welcome to the Big East. Somebody in the transfer portal who was maybe already in the Big East.
Oh.
Next on 1620 The Zone.
The best way to catch all the action is on 1620 The Zone. And no line for the bathroom.
It's Champions replacement window season, and we're celebrating with buy 2 windows, get 2 free. If your windows are drafty, difficult to operate, or costing you money on your energy bill, it's time to replace them. Champion Windows is here to help. Champion builds our own windows right here in the USA. We make the process easy. We help you choose the best design options for your home. We then build your project in our very own factory. Our install team manages your project every step of the way, and it's all backed by our lifetime guarantee. Turn your house into your dream home with more livable space in a new Champion sunroom, or enhance your curb appeal with new siding, now 30% off. Don't wait, this sale won't last long. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free, and 30% off sunrooms and siding. Call 877-GO-CHAMPION or visit championsavenow.com to schedule a free in-home estimate today. While discounts apply to our regular prices, select styles apply. Minimum purchase required. Cannot be combined with other advertised offers. See store or website for details.
News Talk 1290 Coil is your radio home for Omaha Storm Chasers baseball, proud AAA affiliate of the Kansas City Royals. Tune in to hear every pitch, every hit, and every out as the Chasers play at Warner Park and across the International League in 2024. With the voice of the Omaha Storm Chasers, Nick Batters, on News Talk 1290 Coil.
The Storm Chasers host Jacksonville tonight at Warner Park. First pitch is scheduled for 6:35. You can hear all the action on your home for the Storm Chasers, 1290 Coil.
I'm Dave Osted. And I'm Ryan Osted. I think my first memory of golf is playing with my dad at a par 3 course. It was an absolute blast, and he always would have an ice cream hole. So if I got an 8 or less, we'd be going for ice cream. My first memory of golf really focused on driving the golf cart, being able to drive that cart. You were a crazy driver. I was a crazy driver, but it was what I look forward to. And what's really funny now, when I take my kids out play golf, that is the one thing, along with the snack bar, that they are most excited about. Focus on the good stuff. Play better, have fun, and shop Osted's.
Is your concrete cracked or uneven? Hey everyone, Coach Greg McDermott here to explain why you should choose Everlevel Concrete Repair. Many people think they need to replace broken concrete, but repairing it provides durable protection and comes at a fraction of the cost. EverLevel provides permanent repair solutions to fix your concrete and protect it against future damage. And it all comes with a long-term transferable warranty. They offer free inspections to walk you through the entire process. Call EverLevel Concrete Repair today.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/radio and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Omaha Maverick Baseball has won 5 out of the last 6 series and leads the Summit League in conference wins. This weekend, the Mavs take on first place St. Thomas. This series will likely determine the regular season title. The weather promises to be perfect, and you don't want to miss any of the action. Friday night is $4 Friday. Soft drinks, beer, popcorn, hot dogs, and brats are all $4. Get your tickets for all 3 games by calling 402-554-MAVS or by going to omavs.com/tickets.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Here comes the clown.
One follow-up from Baseball Savant Corner from Jack John.
Hi, Jack John.
Part of the Mookie Betts thing is that he has to do with the fact that he's the leadoff batter for a team that makes its way through the lineup more times per game than any other team in the league. There's no doubt about it. People behind Mookie Betts include Shohei Ohtani and Freddie Freeman.
And this may shock some of you, the Dodgers lead the league in runs scored.
They're so good. Like, watch their lineup and, like, put yourself in the shoes of a pitcher and then just, like, try to breathe after that. Oh,
the hell do I do
sick.
with this top 4?
I got Mookie Betts out. This is amazing.
It's Shohei.
Yep.
I got Shohei and Mookie Betts out. All right. It's Freddie Freeman.
What the hell is going on here? Very hard to understand. Very hard to understand.
I don't want to do it. Take me out. Skip.
Told you about some breaking news before the break.
Oh, yeah.
So perfect timing. You mentioned during the break, Josh, that our boy Johnny Fanta is putting in he's doing a space. He's already rounding up the creatures, the heathens in Big East Twitter. They've been asleep for some time now. What's going on?
They're libeling people for the summer.
They stopped celebrating UConn's national championship and went off to Cancun for a couple weeks. But come on back, because Kadari Richmond, who was the number 1 player in the transfer portal, according to most, the Seton Hall guard, the guy that Creighton made. Gosh, what was that stat line on him last year in that triple overtime game? I'm going to find it real quick. I think it was something like 8 of 30.
That's not great.
It was hilarious. 2020. Let's see. 2024 game data. Come on, my little Ken Palm. Help me out here.
My little Ken Palm.
8 of 32.
Oh.
And 5 of 6 from the free throw line. That was how Kadari Richmond got his 21 points against Creighton in triple overtime on January 20th. Anyway, that's not particularly important context. He was Big East all first team all Big East last year. Where is he going, you're wondering? Welcome back to the Big East, Kadari Richmond. He's going with Rick Pitino, the guy who wants to kill himself in Frostbite in Omaha.
I like the cut of that guy's jib.
And really likes Mock Pope, one of my dearest friends. Mock Pope.
It's a good bit.
He's going to St. John's. Richmond said to John Giavone of ESPN, quote, they were big on life after basketball and player development. That stood out to me. The way they kept it real from day one. They're going to allow me to showcase my ability and become a better basketball player and person. I'd like to make a long, deep run into the NCAA tournament and eventually win a national championship. I'm ready to get to work and see what Coach Pitino has in store. He visited Oklahoma, also considered Syracuse, Miami, and USC, but he stays home. He's from Brooklyn. And heads off to play for Rick Pitino.
Rick Pitino keeps it real.
Hey, that's going to be a real deal, man. They're going to be good.
I think so.
Also,
you're going to have to deal with St. John's.
Did the John Giavone said that he considered Syracuse? Didn't Kadari Richmond already play at Syracuse?
You can always go home again, Connor.
Yes, Kadari Richmond played his freshman year at Syracuse before transferring to Seton Hall. He was considering going back to Syracuse, which is fun. But yes, the Big East never stops, baby. It's reloading again for next year. You see all the players UConn got?
It's going to be tough, but it's going to be fun.
Creighton got the tree man back.
Mm-hmm.
Kadari Richmond's playing for a different New York area team. This is awesome. I love this conference. May it never die.
How could it?
I mean, well, there's lots of ways where it could, Josh. Unfortunately, in this day and age in college basketball, like college basketball doesn't exactly matter in the grand scheme of things. Like when you include the money people and things of that nature. So there's many conceivable ways in which the conference dies, but I really hope it doesn't. Richmond adds, seeing what Jalen Brunson is doing for New York City right now, winning in New York is a big thing. I want to be a part of that. Wow. Did the Knicks just get Rick Pitino a recruit? Also, you were playing in Newark. It's not like you were that far removed from being you played at Madison Square Garden during the Big East tournament anyway.
Oh, so far away.
I had to do it for New York.
New York,
like imagine
stand up.
Like Big East, Rick Pitino selling a Seton Hall player on saying, look, here's the deal, buddy. You know as well as everybody. New York City and Jersey, they're just different. You want to be a part of this.
They will tell you that.
New York is so back right now. The city of New York is all the way back. By the way, so in this write-up from John Giavone, they describe him as the following. A 6'6" point guard, Richmond immediately moved to number 1 in ESPN's transfer rankings upon his entrance into the portal a couple weeks ago. He earned first-team All-Big East honors after averaging 15.7 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists a game, and leading Seton Hall to the NIT championship. People forget that Seton Hall was jobbed out of the NCAA tournament. He had 20-plus point games 9 times in Big East play, including in triple overtime against Creighton, when he finished with 21, 11, and 11. Now, I don't know why that game was highlighted. A, they lost. B, he went 8 of 32 from the field. Wasn't a great game. Kadari Richmond. Anyway, welcome to the Big East, Kadari. Bernie writes in, by the way, on Twitter.
Hi, Bernie.
On the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed. He wonders, how many at-bats does Javier Baez need to see 699 pitches? Got to be close to like 250. Yeah, check back with me in about August. Then at that point, Javi Baez might have seen 699 pitches the way Mookie Betts has so far this year. Also, breaking news before we get to Bigelow here.
Oh.
I've been waiting for this one. The Big Ten women have announced their conference. Josh, you seem exasperated.
I thought you were going to say the 2-minute report is out.
No.
For the Knicks game last
the conference
night.
play. I'm wondering about the conference. Who's Nebraska going to get at home in conference this year?
Oh,
are they going to get the star-studded USC? No, they'll have to go there. Are they going to get Iowa? At least
I don't care.
You don't care about Iowa anymore. You don't care about the ghost of Caitlin Clark?
That game's not going to have the same juice.
Oh no, it's going to have more juice
because Nebraska's got the upper hand.
Well, it's going to have it won't be like nationally televised. And there won't be 20,000 people there, but they will not like each other still.
Sure.
Double play actually with Iowa, home and away. Nebraska welcomes in Iowa, Ohio State, Michigan State, Minnesota, Penn State, Wisconsin, Washington, and Oregon into Pinnacle Bank Arena this year. No USC, no Juju. They go on the road. All right.
That might have gotten me to Lincoln.
I know. Sad. Now you'll never get to see me do public address announcing.
Probably not going to happen.
Sad, Josh.
Well,
you'll just be busy here eating chips.
For content. It's content.
Jacob Bigelow is up next on 1620 The Zone.
The Connor Happer Show. Follow us on Twitter @Happer Show for all the latest news and views. We may even say something interesting once in a while.
Unlikely.
Really, guys? Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Roofing, siding, and gutters. Make the right call with the rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard.
Murphy Tractor and Equipment is your source for John Deere construction equipment rental. We rent high-quality equipment and attachments with add-on options in TopCon precision construction technology. Whether you need 1 week or 6 months, we rent a variety of equipment to help you get the job done. All our rental equipment is fully serviced, fueled, and ready to get to work. Let Murphy Tractor be your first choice for your construction equipment rental needs. Visit us online at murphytractor.com.
Let's go on a fishing trip you will be talking about for years. The best walleye fishing trip ever. Join me, Crash Davis. We're going to travel to the walleye capital of the world, September 15th through the 19th aboard a deluxe motor coach. Travel with me to Ballard's Resort on Lake of the Woods. Pricing includes round-trip motor coach transportation, 4 nights lodging, 3 days of fully guided walleye fishing, and all of our meals. Go fishing with me, Crash. Your best trip ever. Sign up at ballardsresort.com. ballardsresort.com. And set the hook.
The world's largest sports book in Las Vegas is available right at your fingertips in Iowa. The Circa Sports Iowa app is sports betting the way it should be. Bet anywhere in Iowa and experience high betting limits, tight money line splits, and exceptional customer service. Download your new bookie today. Visit circasports.com and start betting like a pro from anywhere in Iowa. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-238-7633.
Hey, you hear that? That's the sound of loose change in your pocket reminding you to buy a 99-cent medium fountain drink from Casey's. So the next time you hear this, you already know where to go. 99-cent medium fountain drinks. It's not crazy. It's Casey's.
Right now, and for a very limited time, get a free $500 quarter-carat oval natural diamond pendant valued at $500 for free with a purchase of $500 or more at Greenberg's Jewelers. Or receive a set of half-carat total weight diamond studs valued at $1,000 absolutely free when you buy $1,000 or more in gorgeous Greenberg's jewelry. It's a real buy one, get one free opportunity during Greenberg's Jewelers Celebrating Love Spring event. Get mom that special Mother's Day gift. Or maybe you have an anniversary, special birthday, or a graduation coming up. You can give 2 pieces of jewelry or keep the free earrings or pendant for yourself. Greenberg's won't tell. Don't miss these tremendous buy one, get one free opportunities during Greenberg's Jewelers Celebrating Love's spring event, happening for a very limited time only at Greenberg's Jewelers. Greenberg's Jewelers, a cut above the rest. West Roads Mall.
When you get nachos, tacos, empanadas, spicy queso with jalapenos, Pepto-Bismol's there. Pepto-Bismol provides fast, effective relief from nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, and diarrhea. All the things that can happen unexpectedly on vacation. So before you travel, pack the Pepto. Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Email us on the Equitable Bank inbox with whatever's on your mind. Zone Inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. You can get me, Gary, at 1620thezone.com. We want to hear from you on the Equitable Bank Zone Inbox.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
He's heating up. That's the country song, right? Remember when?
Thank you. Jacob Bigelow.
Yeah. Whenever my open is concocted, throw that in there.
He's on fire. Jacob Bigelow, Huskers Illustrated, on the Connor Happer Show, on 1620 The Zone.
Boom shakalaka.
All right, we're joined now on the 42 Degrees of Source hotline by our good friend Jacob Bigelow, Huskers Illustrated, the Stretch Big Pod, which released an episode recently with the Jacobs, Jacob Squared, Bigelow, and Padilla. Hi, Jacob, what's up?
Hello. Not much. It's a gorgeous day out, but yeah, I had to have a little reunion. The Jacobs, who share a name, share a birthday, and have both been affectionately labeled as sickos. We had to get back together for a little pod to talk Portal, but it was fun, and you can check that out on your podcast platform of your choice.
Very good. Very, very good. By the way, so yeah, right before you came on here, the announcement came down from the Big Ten about who the women's teams are going to be playing. So get ready on the home courts. So here's where USC goes in conference for their women's team. Indiana, Purdue, Iowa, Wisconsin, Maryland, Rutgers, Washington, Oregon. Get ready to blow those things out, sell out those buildings next year, because it's going to be the traveling Juju Watkins and Company roadshow next year.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm definitely bummed that they won't be coming to PBA, but yeah, there will be some big time atmospheres following that group around the trio of Juju, Kiki Arafan, and Talia, the point guard. I don't want to try to pronounce her last.
Von Oelhoffen?
I think so. That's what I probably would have gone.
You know what? I'm here to try. If I get it wrong, then I get it wrong. I'm here to try.
Yeah, but that trio, USC is probably going to be preseason top 5 for sure. Definitely a national title contender, and going to be quite the first year for them in the Big Ten. But and then Iowa's the lone double play for the old Huskers, which I'm sure the fans will be happy about that.
Does that mean it's a rivalry?
I would say so. And obviously, without Caitlin Clark around, people will think that it'll lose the juice. I think there may be more. And then, Iowa, they got, I forget the Villanova transfer.
Lucy Olsen.
Leading scorers. Lucy Olsen, yep, who was one of the leading scorers in the country to, transfer in. So I think they'll still be solid. So that'll definitely still have some juice come next up.
It looks like, by the way, everybody got one double play. So you just have to decide, the conference just basically had to decide who is the rival. Great news. Penn State and Rutgers are rivals with each other. So that'll be exciting.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, women only play 18 conference games, unlike the men who play 20.
That is right. So that's why that changeup was a little bit different. Okay, Jacob. We don't get to make fun of you about your weirdo softball team last night, but no, there was no shenanigans going on with the game getting rained out, right? It was just straight, you're not going to accuse the other team of running from the machine that is the Jack Mitchell softball team, right?
I am not going to make any accusations. We were slated to play the only church team in the league, so don't want to commit any don't want to commit any blasphemy or insinuate that they were praying really hard that they didn't have to play us or anything like that. But that was our scheduled opponent last night. So I think maybe a week off will do us some good, get our mentals right, and take us into our game next week.
Hey, I wanted to ask you, as a basketball sicko, you delve into the NBA from time to time as well. How have you felt about this, the recent and now really, really mainstream Anthony Edwards explosion, where we go out above and beyond and way too overboard with some of these things, but it really does feel like he is next, as people always say. Like, how have you felt about this Anthony Edwards train over the last couple of weeks here?
As the kids say, he's him.
He's him.
Definitely showing that these last couple of weeks. I think Anthony Edwards has the perfect balance, of game on the court and personality off of it. I mean, this is a guy who was showing up to press conferences his rookie season in the league with bags of McDonald's. Talked about how basketball wasn't his main sport, how he's been A1 since day one in any sport he ever played. All sorts of personality from him, including the now infamous clip of, they got KD, but we got Jaden McDaniels. All sorts of quotes and personality from Ant. And, obviously, I mean, and, he, the MJ comp is obviously maybe a little far-fetched, but I mean, that fadeaway he hit last night, hitting the shrug, I'm like, that looks awfully, those two instances look awfully familiar. So much for wanting those comps to stop. But I mean, he's still just 22 years old, and they're on some kind of heater right now, man. Some kind of heater, not just him, but the whole team. They're all thriving in their roles, and for them to do that last night defensively, even without Gobert, are wildly impressive.
Yeah, well, that's what I wanted to bring up. Like, I wanted to ask you about the wild MJ comp. I talked about it yesterday on my show. Like, I every single fiber of my being wants to be like, nah, I mean, come on. Why do we always do this? This is stupid. Like, nobody's Michael Jordan. But then I watch him and I'm like, I actually see the pieces of it. Not that he's going to be as good as Michael Jordan was or win as many championships or whatever, but he has a lot of the stuff. So that's what makes this conversation different, and I think much more real than any other comp has been before. Sans Kobe, I guess I should say.
Yeah, obviously, because I mean that was the thing with Kobe. Like, Kobe had the moves and Kobe had the rings, and right now, Ant is 22. He doesn't have the rings yet, but I mean that fadeaway that he hit over two people. I mean that looked. I mean, it looked like a Jordan clip. It did, and I saw a recent argument between former Celtic teammates Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce on some podcast, where Kevin Garnett was like, Anthony Edwards, that's 84 Jordan right now. That's young MJ.
Yeah.
He ain't prime MJ,
right?
But he's showing the moves, the swag, for him in that first round series to wax poetic about how Kevin Durant's his favorite player, and then be hitting shots over him and just talking mad trash to him running down the court, telling him you can't guard me, old ass, all sorts of just getting up in his face and. Just there's more that goes into it than just the moves, on the court, and he's got the swag, he's got the FU mentality, and he's showing all sorts of it on and off the court.
Yeah, he's definitely not afraid of anything. That's the first box that you'll have to check in if you want to continue on with those comparisons. And so he checks that one, that's for sure. No, it's been fascinating, and the basketball sicko in me actually appreciates it, even though I'm a Nuggets fan, and I don't know, I definitely love basketball more than I love the Nuggets. So this has just been a joy to watch. The postseason in general. I mean, even we think that basketball sickos only apply to college basketball, and there's definitely more gold in that gold mine, but it definitely applies to the NBA as well. Like these playoffs have been awesome so far, I think.
Absolutely. It's been really fun, and people like to forget, we're also going into an Olympic summer too. There'll be Olympic basketball not too far away, and with the rise and star power of worldwide guys, your Jokic's, your Giannis's, your Lukas. I mean, the Olympic basketball is going to be a ton of fun too. At the end of the summer, and it's not a bad little run for the hoops sickos right now.
Hey, earlier when on the crossover, when we were discussing the worst sports losses that you feel like you've endured in your life, I immediately was lit up from text from you. I will let you go ahead and take us through the waning moments of a specific Nebraska basketball game that was just unbearable.
The Michigan game at Madison Square Garden, is that what you're referring to?
Yep.
That was so I in my days as a student manager between both the high school level and the college level, some not great losses, but I think walking off the court at Madison Square Garden after losing by 20 to Michigan fans, and I think just random New Yorkers in the arena chanting NIT, NIT at us as the clock ran down and on a 20-point loss when the walk-ons are on the court. Pretty deflating, definitely near the top of the losses that I was a part of in my day.
Yeah. So that would have been
17-18 season.
That was the year they won 20 whatever games, right?
Yes. And come to find out that they needed to not just win that Michigan game, but probably make the Big Ten tournament final to even come close to making the NCAA tournament, as they got a 5 seed in the NIT and got to go to Stark Vegas.
And then Michigan went on to play in the national championship game that year to make it even worse.
Yes, indeed. So it was a whole it was not a fun couple weeks there at the end of that season.
Is that so that was really the first one that came to your mind of because what I tried to tap into was what is the most just I have to sit down and just wallow in this for a while until I can really think about or do anything else. That was the first one that came to your mind?
That one and that Kansas game that season.
Oh yeah,
were probably the first two that came to mind. Sitting behind the bench, hearing our coaching staff know that Svi in the corner, and Svi is wide open, just cashes it, and then we get 2 looks at the buzzer, and neither of them went in. So yeah, those two were the two that came to mind right away.
Yeah, there's a lot of. Unfortunately, I did during that segment. I did hear from a lot of Nebraska ball fans in particular, but there's even been some good ones over the last decade or so where they've been mildly competitive for the majority of it up until I guess Fred's first 3 years. They were pretty good for most of it, but I guess that probably just enhances the chances that you have more devastating losses in between. It always hurts more when you actually think you trick yourself into believing that your team has a chance to really do something and then just gets the rug completely pulled out from underneath them.
Yeah, definitely. And I, definitely have had varying views of certain Nebraska basketball games, whether from up close or to up with the media these last couple of years. So I've seen it from just about every angle.
I was going to say, where does Texas A&M, if you tap into Nebraska ball fan, is the prevailing thought, okay, I'm more happy. I was happy just to make the tournament. And now that we have some distance from it, it was nice to have the run. It was nice to have the season. Or do you still think back at that game and think, man, that was, they were, it's just a missed opportunity that day. What's the takeaway from it now that we're, a month plus after it?
My takeaway is you always want a seat on the ride and to get back to the tournament and, and for the first time in a decade and get the I don't want to say euphoric, but I mean the enjoyment the last couple weeks of the season to get to the Big Ten semifinal, and then obviously the second half of that Illinois game and the game against Texas A&M felt eerily similar. But your season's going to end at some point. Only one team gets to cut down nets, and obviously some people will disagree with me, because of the elephant of never winning a game in the NCAA tournament. But I mean, just to get back there, I think that's kind of where I fell at, from my perspective of just like, all right, they've shown that they can get back here. Now, how can they build upon it? And the ride and everything that went into it was really enjoyable.
I'm generally with you, and I'll take whatever pain that comes at the end of it. Sadly, that's just the existence that us sports fans have to live in. They have to decide, like, are the very, very small pieces of good that happen on this theoretical ride worth the absolute gut punch that is inevitably going to happen at the end of it? That is, of course, so you have to confront yourself with that question. That is, of course, unless you're a Chiefs fan, which you are in this specific scenario, which makes it even more just mentally confusing, because the rules that apply to all of the other sports teams that exist on planet Earth do not apply to the Kansas City Chiefs right now, which is shocking.
Yeah, it is quite the conundrum. Talking about talking football with my dad. I'm a third generation Chiefs fan, like my dad and like his parents before him, and we're still kind of I talked about this toward the end of the playoffs. We're still kind of just on cloud nine. Like, is this real? Is this real life? But I haven't. I refuse to descend into irrational Chiefs fandom territory. That's kind of something I'm going to pride myself on, and just going to once again enjoy the ride as long as 15's playing quarterback in Kansas City.
Good for you. We appreciate you for that. Jacob, thanks as always for the time. We'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good. Thanks, Hap. Have a good rest of the week, man.
Jacob Bigelow of Huskers Illustrated, the Stretch Big Pod. You can check that out wherever you get your podcast. Isn't that funny, man? The rules. Everybody likes to always do the thing where they're like, I've suffered the most.
Right.
I'm a this fan. Trust me, I know what
you don't know pain.
I know what sucking is. I know what pain is. I know, I've been through it. I've seen all of it. Like, sports fans are really in a competition against themselves to say what they've been through and what they've
scars.
Yeah, what they've endured. Right. Yes.
You want to know how I got these scars?
I also really hope that me saying I know what sucking is doesn't turn into a drop at some point down the line.
For a price.
Okay.
Maybe you promote my vlog some more.
And then there's these random, there's these random occurrences where the rules just don't apply anymore. And if you're lucky enough to catch it at one point in your life, if your team catches it at one point in your life, it is the best. It is the most freeing, nonsensical, beautiful thing you could ever imagine. And right now the Chiefs are in it. They're on the rainbow. They're like, wee! Nothing can hurt me.
Nothing can hurt me.
Nothing can hurt me. I am in the and that's why I'm always so amazed by the Chiefs fans who are like, respect us. I have to be mad about something all the time. Like, are you kidding me? You have the best quarterback anyone has ever seen. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. And you won a Super Bowl with your perceived worst team in his time there. Like, have fun. This is good.
Yeah, and they also really want you to know that they were fans of the team before Patrick Mahomes.
Right. That's always an important thing to note as well. So if you're lucky enough to catch that beautiful, beautiful fairy dust at some point in your life.
Been a fan since Joe Montana.
This is a hard truth that we all have to maybe accept. The fairy dust for Nebraska football fans has come and gone.
What if it comes back?
It's not coming back, Josh. It's not coming back.
Did you see Dylon sling it?
I love that. I thought that was awesome.
What if we never lost again, Connor?
Many people say that all the time. But 60-3 happened, and it ain't coming back.
What if instead of taking L's, Nebraska started handing out L's?
They can win all they want, but they will never win like they won for those 4 years.
What if they did?
By the way, I liked your retweet of this poll question that this guy ran.
Oh yeah, Stats of War.
So the Stats of War. So he's not a Nebraska guy, is he?
No, he's the guy that puts out the charts every week, like expected points per game.
Yeah, he did a poll question just a second ago. We could actually talk about this coming back because I like the idea that it exists. Will Nebraska be good this fall? Yes or no?
People are starting to like that's the team where everybody's like, they could be 10 and whatever, or
so they always have to
6 and
ask the
6.
qualifying question, like, what's good? What's good?
Yeah.
I like this. No context, yes or no. No is winning so far in landslide.
Mm-hmm. That means the Husker Twitter has not found it yet.
Yeah, don't worry, it's coming. The Husker fans on poll questions, they got that fairy dust, and they ain't letting it go, baby.
That's the one thing we got.
They got that fairy dust. Poll question: do they got that fairy dust?
Okay.
All right. We'll be back with more next on 1620 The Zone.
Previously on The Crossover.
I opened up my fortune cookie last night, and on the front it says, here you can download a bunch of music. And then on the back, there's a QR code for Napster.
Yeah. Fortune cookies used to be fun, whimsical. At the end of your chicken fried rice, you're like, boop, boop, boop.
Boop, boop, boop. That's exactly what I did
we had
last night.
Chinese the other night. I don't think we ever got fortune cookies.
Even worse.
Mornings with Sharp and Hanley. The Connor Happer Show. Unsportsmanlike conduct. 6A to 6P. 1620. The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Mild and breezy for Tuesday. Expect mostly to partly sunny skies. West to southwest winds will gust 20 to 30 miles per hour at times. Can't rule out a spotty late day shower, though most will stay dry. Highs in the low 70s. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV News Watch 7.
Certified Transmission built its reputation on the job done right.
It means hard work, honesty, and integrity.
And together, we ensure our customers leave satisfied and worry-free.
Certified Transmission, the job done right at the right price.
My taco pie is really something special, and it can't be imitated. It starts with my zesty taco sauce, seasoned beef, onions, lettuce, tomatoes, mounds of cheddar, and mozzarella cheese. This pie is the real deal. For a limited time, build your own feast with the specialty pizza, like my taco pie, a one-topping pizza, and cinnamon monkey bread. Do yourself a favor and order. Today, Godfather's Pizza. Do it.
Guys, let's have a conversation. Let's say you've been losing interest in your spouse. You got low libido. You can't focus on things. And you're wondering, what is going on? It may be low testosterone. Mentality is here for you. With their FDA-approved testosterone treatment, the board-certified physicians who work with most insurance companies, they can diagnose the symptoms of low testosterone and take care of it. Schedule an appointment today. Go to the website, lowtusa.com. Take back your life, man. Mentality, lowtusa.com.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote 1-800-670-5151. That's 1-800-670-5151. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. 1-800-670-5151. Details on example rate at selectquote.com.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
Every business faces challenges, but complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping shouldn't be one of them.
With USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service, you can avoid all the noise.
No more unexpected surcharges, hidden fees, or complex rate structures.
It's just easy, cost-effective, and dependable shipping. Tune your business's frequency to success and turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
It's only a matter of time before this poll question goes crazy. Will Nebraska be good?
Who's to say?
Somebody's going to. Nebraska fans are going to see it. They're going to say yes. Hey, by the way, we talked about the A's not getting any people to go to their games, being outdrawn by 556, at least 556 professional or semi-professional franchises in the United States.
That's right.
Did you see Mason? This is baseball Mason Miller, who plays for the Oakland A's. Who's very good. Very good at baseball.
Yes,
baseball Mason Miller. He was asked if he's going to do one of those cool pitcher closer walkouts. You know, they got all the LED lights in the stadiums now, and they flash them, and they play a cool song, and they put the guy on the big screen. This is all started, of course. Well, closer entries have been a thing for a long time, but only just recently they started doing the things with the lights because they have the LEDs.
They can turn them off and on.
They can turn them off and on really fast. And I think it exploded, of course, with the Edwin Diaz trumpet deal a couple of years ago.
Eric Gagne first closer entrance that I remember.
I would go back to Trevor Hoffman.
Maybe that's the one I was trying to remember.
Trevor Hoffman's the first one I really recall being pretty epic.
Yeah.
And then Mariano obviously doing Enter Sandman was pretty epic. Like the biggest closers have had really cool entries. Right. But now everybody's got one. James MacArthur has one now. I mean, I love James MacArthur. He's been a revelation to the Royals.
Yeah.
But James MacArthur has a walkout. He comes out to Chris Stapleton's White Horse, and the lights flash on and on. It doesn't really work in a day game, by the way, but it does happen.
Do they still do it?
They still do it. They turn the lights on and off, and White Horse still comes on. By the way, quick critique of my beloved Kansas City Royals. Turn the music up. Why is it so? I can barely hear Mike McCartney, who's doing the PA, and
really,
I can't hear anything in the ballpark anymore.
Well, they got to keep it down in that neighborhood. There's a lot of businesses and personal residences that they don't want to disturb.
Maybe they are sandbagging to get the new stadium.
Look, if we make this place seem like a dump, people will think it's a dump.
I mean, the A's are sandbagging.
They are.
Anyway, on Mason Miller, on his closer entry, he says he's not going to do one. Here's why. Quote, "The lights might not come back on." He's worried.
Amazing.
He's worried that his own team's lights might not come back on.
It's really interesting that nobody on that team ever goes. You think like one day you'd just get like shelled, and after the game, somebody would come up to you with a microphone and ask you a bunch of stupid questions, and you would just unload on ownership. It's only been in little things like that where A's players have been like, yeah, it's a real mess in here.
Yeah, they don't say it out loud a lot because I think everybody is pretty well aware of the situation. They're like, we don't really need to say anything.
You guys.
Because we put ourselves at risk of, I mean, they're sending guys down from the minor leagues for saying anything about the owners. Yeah, no, they run quite the ship over there. Just got this tweet. Thank you. Little helmet tap here to Bill Brasky.
Bill Brasky.
Thank you, Bill Brasky. This is amazing. And unfortunately, I can't read the story in full because I am unfortunately not a member to wholeHogSports.com.
Wow.
But
get on our level.
It appears
4 weeks for just $1, Connor.
I should support local journalism. I apologize for not. But it appears as if former Nebraska wide receiver commitment and former professional baseball player Monty Harrison, who I believe committed to Nebraska in the class of, oh boy, I'm going to say 2014, was committed to the class of Nebraska football 2014. And I should give you context here. That would have been the class that included the following. Oh boy, hold on. You gotta give me a second. Let me get there. He was recruited, of course, by John Garrison and Rich Fisher. The class that included the following people like Nick Gates, Tanner Farmer, Mikhail Wilbon, Zach Darlington, Chris Jones, Mick Stoltenberg, Joshua Kalu, DeMornay Pearsonell. This class basically would have played their entire career under Mike Riley. Their first 3 years, I guess, under Mike Riley. He is committed to play football at Arkansas now in 2024.
That's a walk-on. He played 3 years in Major League Baseball.
So Monty Harrison, that makes him, if he was class of 2014 high school, that makes him 28 years old, right? If I'm mathing that correctly.
I would think so.
That makes him about in the neighborhood of 28 years old.
He is 28. He will be 29 in August.
He's going back to school. Will there be a vlog? I'm wondering. This is amazing news. I'm very excited about this. Congratulations to Monty Harrison, who is going to go play football at Arkansas this year. Wow.
Huh. Okay. There's a lot of weird things in that story.
Yeah, I really got to subscribe to the Whole Hog Sports because I got to read this story.
I read a very short story on the
on a different website,
Southwest Times Record.
You don't have to be subscribed to that to read it.
You don't. You do also have to be subscribed to the Arkansas Democrat Gazette.
Too many subscriptions, man.
If you're Googling Monty Harrison this afternoon.
Look at that. How about that? That's very cool. Congratulations to Monty, and way to bring back the memories of yesteryear. The crossover class of Mike Riley and Bo Pelini. All right. We will return, get to the poll questions, tell you what to watch. What, Josh?
He played professional baseball for 3 years.
No,
he's going to be a walk-on in Arkansas.
He was scheduled to be a college football player
10
years ago.
He's old.
10 years ago. Poll questions, tell you what to watch next on 1620 The Zone.
I'm a fabulous driver.
The Connor Happer Show
I'm one of the best friends you could ever have in your life.
on 1620 The Zone.
I hate you.
Big names, big games. We've got them all. 1620 The Zone.
The Zone Hotline is powered by 42 Degrees, The Source, by your mom's house.
Right now, and for a very limited time, get a free $500 quarter-carat oval natural diamond pendant valued at $500 for free with a purchase of $500 or more at Greenberg's Jewelers. Or receive a set of half-carat total weight diamond studs valued at $1,000 absolutely free when you buy $1,000 or more in gorgeous Greenberg's jewelry. It's a real buy one, get one free opportunity during Greenberg's Jewelers Celebrating Love's spring event. Get mom that special Mother's Day gift. Or maybe you have an anniversary, special birthday, or a graduation coming up. You can give 2 pieces of jewelry or keep the free earrings or pendant for yourself. Greenberg's won't tell. Don't miss these tremendous buy one, get one free opportunities during Greenberg's Jewelers Celebrating Love Spring event, happening for a very limited time only at Greenberg's Jewelers. Greenberg's Jewelers, a cut above the rest. West Roads Mall.
News Talk 1290 Coil is your radio home for Omaha Storm Chasers baseball, proud AAA affiliate of the Kansas City Royals. Tune in to hear every pitch, every hit, and every out as the Chasers play at Warner Park and across the International League in 2024. With the voice of the Omaha Storm Chasers, Nick Batters, on News Talk 1290 Coil.
The Storm Chasers host Jacksonville tonight at Warner Park. First pitch is scheduled for 6:35. You can hear all the action on your home for the Storm Chasers, 1290 Coil.
My doctor told me my cholesterol is borderline, so I took control with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Garlic helps maintain healthy cholesterol safely and naturally. It's odor and taste-free, and Garlic is a world leader in garlic potency. I'm taking charge of my cholesterol with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula, cholesterol's natural enemy.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
Easy Cater. 100,000 restaurants, one platform. Need food for a meeting or a company event? Easy Cater has everything you need to make food for work, work. With easy online ordering and reordering. Save your favorite orders, make edits as needed, and click. We even help you with expenses by keeping your receipts all in one place, which means all you need to do is sit back and enjoy the food. From ordering to reporting, Easy Cater has everything to make food for work, work. Order 24/7 at easycater.com.
Post is roasting every morning. Post Coffee Services is on a mission to invigorate every workplace with a blend of bold flavors and unforgettable service, creating moments with our coffee, water, and food services that spark joy, productivity, and connection. Call us today.
Proudly serving Nebraska since 1972. Post Coffee Services is always roasting something good for you.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
All right, quickly, poll questions before we get to the crossover here. We'll go back to yesterday's crossover first. Do we have some bad bugs right now?
Sure do, Coach.
66% say yes. What was that referencing?
Score bugs. You guys were complaining about score bugs, and you said we got a lot of bad bugs right now.
Yeah. Yep, I agree with that.
Well, you said it.
Do you double dip the chip? Yes.
You monster.
54% only say no. I am happy to be the representation of this group of people, of which I know that there are. It's not me, Tobias, being a never knew.
There are dozens of us.
It's not that. There's more. There's more than dozens. Doesn't everyone just want a bing bong? Yes or no?
I think you're right.
71% also think that I'm right. And finally, do they got that fairy dust?
Oh, yeah.
Nebraska fans in poll questions. Yeah, they got that fairy dust. 68% say yes. Those are the polls. Josh, what are we watching tonight?
Got 2 NBA playoff games, a couple of game ones tonight on TNT. 6 o'clock tip at the Boston Garden, whatever the hell they call it now. Cavs.
TD Garden?
Yeah, something like that. Cavs, Celtics game 1, followed by Mavs Thunder game 1 at 8:30. NHL, the draft lottery is at 5:30 tonight on ESPN. The expected number 1 pick is Macklin Celebrini, a freshman out of Boston University. Connor, I'm sure you know this already, but for the audience's benefit, he's the 4th freshman to ever win the Hobey Baker.
Oh, Burt Macklin?
Yes.
Burt Macklin, FBI?
That's right. The San Jose Sharks have a 25.5% chance of landing the number 1 pick. The Blackhawks are in the mix as well, so there might be shenanigans for a second straight year. Hurricanes, Rangers, 6 o'clock ESPN. Rangers lead that series 1-0, and then a game 1 between the Avalanche and the Stars in Dallas at 8:30. Major League Baseball here in, about 45 minutes in Oakland. Watch nobody be in the stands for the Rangers and the A's at 2:30 on MLB Network. 6 o'clock TBS, Astros, Yankees, Justin Verlander starting for the Stros. And then at 9 o'clock on MLB Network, it is Marlins, Dodgers. College baseball, Louisville at Vanderbilt, 6 o'clock on ESPN2. WNBA tonight, 9 o'clock, the Phoenix Mercury at the Seattle Storm. It's not on TV. It's not streaming anywhere, but it is Jazz Shelley's WNBA preseason debut.
Well, then how could it be what to watch if I can't watch it?
Watch the box score.
That's
on your
not
on ESPN
a thing to watch.
App. We wish her well.
We do. Friend of the show.
Professional career tonight. A couple of movies on TV tonight. North by Northwest from Alfred Hitchcock is on Turner Classic Movies tonight at 7 o'clock, and the Planet of the Apes trilogy is on starting now until 10 o'clock on FX. You can get a little primer for the new one that comes out later this week.
Exciting. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Connor.
That's what we're watching tonight. That's the show. If you missed anything, 1620thezone.com is where you can find it. The crossover is next.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Where's the perfect place to shop for Mother's Day? By your mom's house, of course, at 42 Degrees. Right now, treat your mom to the best Primo cannabis with smoking new low pricing. Or spoil mom with a CBD or Delta product. It's all up to half off. Think of how proud your mom will be when she finds out how much you saved. Don't miss this Mother's Day sale at 42 Degrees. Your dispensary for top-tier cannabis, second-to none product selection, and exceptional service. 42 Degrees. By your mom's house.
Hi, this is Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. Great service never goes out of style. When the digital age dawned, many said computers would be able to handle many of the interactions that used to take a person. Boy, were they wrong. How many times have you called your bank and gotten a recording to press 1 or 2? Not at Equitable. Not only does Equitable answer your call in the first ring, it's answered by a human being. That's because Equitable Bank values its customers. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Member FDIC.
Make the right call. John Higgins Weather Guard, the home of the roofery.
When it's time to replace or repair storm damage, make the right call. John Higgins Weather Guard, the local, trusted, and proven choice. No one has installed more DaVinci roofs, and there's a reason why John Higgins Weather Guard is the nation's leader. Community member, community supporter. Make the right call.
John Higgins Weather Guard, the home of the